And then sometimes we just go live because that's the way we do it here at 4:30 in the morning on the West Coast, 7:30 on the East Coast. Mark is here. He's just hiding backstage. Said, it's too cold. I don't want to play with you guys. I'm just going to be a friend and uh, in spirit. Actually, no, what it's really happening is
I was
Mark
on a
is
call.
overwhelmed by Lois and Clark's ending, and he can't actually coalesce his words.
I was on a call, but you're not wrong about that either. Yo, that was the best series finale that's ever been recorded and aired. I don't know if there's a better one out there that's sitting on a shelf that was never put out to the public, but that was the best series finale. Why hasn't Mark mentioned it? Yeah, that's been this week's IG content. I've been slowly trying to trickle stuff out as to not put spoilers out soon, but I slowly through the week was building up to them. At this point it's been 5 days, so if you're going to watch it, you would have watched it by now. Beyond that, it's just the people who are going to see it when they see it. And there's spoilers everywhere. There's spoilers Monday night, like the second that the show aired. But I don't want to do that to the people that follow my page, you know. Just because I see them don't mean that they see the same ones.
It is true. I didn't. Obviously, I didn't watch it. I haven't been watching the show,
Yeah.
but I've seen descriptions and clips because YouTube fucking had clips of stuff like 30 seconds after it aired. This is getting that way even like wrestling. The same thing. Like nowadays, like if I venture onto YouTube, sometimes the East Coast feed is just being on the West Coast 3 hours behind. All the spoil everything is feeding. Coming in through YouTube spoilers and stuff before it even airs here. It's really annoying.
Yeah. Do you? I know that one was never really on your radar. Do you plan on ever checking that series out?
I don't know. It's it's gotten a lot of praise, so maybe, but I never say never.
I was going to say is if it's not something you plan on going back and watching, like you should while it's still sitting right there, like in your VOD, just go watch the finale. It won't have the weight that it would have if you watch the series and know the characters as well, but
Right.
it's still just
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've watched a lot more media this week
oh god, yeah. I
than
think we all have, whether we wanted to or not, if we're attempting to keep up with stuff.
well, it's not just that. I've had a lot of downtime this week where I can't go out and about. So, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, I had a surgical procedure earlier this week, and so I'm in recovery mode where I can sit here, I can sit at my recliner, and I can go to bed. And those are like I can move from one
Now that you
space to
mentioned that means you're only like 97% of your life is the same then.
right, exactly. So I can't really go out and about and do anything else. So it was like I've sat down and I've watched a lot of fucking TV. I mean,
It's
I
a good
watched.
week to be stuck doing it though.
Oh, I was trying to think if when I watch anything that's like really all that.
Can I go
current.
down and let me go down a hit list
Yeah,
real
sure. Go
quick.
ahead.
So this week alone, we've got Dune Prophecy episode 3 on Sunday. I'm not saying like you watch them. I'm just saying like this is like the radar list.
Right. I'm gonna think. Actually, I need a
Superman and
list here.
Lois
What did I
episode
watch?
10. We got the Creature Commandos that started. Skeleton.
Did it really?
Yeah, Skeleton Crew that started the new Star Wars show. Like, there's just been a nonstop drop of shows. The brand new episode of Landman, which is hitting a lot of people's radar, including mine.
It popped up. I haven't watched it yet, but mostly was getting caught up on some things.
I suggest jumping on Landman. It comes out weekly. It's only on episode 3, and thanks to Brother John, I'm familiar with this person now, but Taylor Sheridan is the creator of the show, who's this same guy who created Tulsa King, which I'm now caught up on Tulsa King, which
Oh,
is fantastic.
I was thinking I gotta start watching that. My problem is like I made a mistake.
Those go fast. Tulsa King, Landman, they go
Yeah.
real fast.
See, the thing is, I made a mistake when I did this Black Friday thing for fucking Max. Is I made a mistake of selecting the $2.99 with limited commercials, and it's driving me bonkers.
Yeah, I
At
can't
least
do it.
the Paramount, it's like 15 seconds at the beginning, and that's it.
That's it.
And then if you watch multiple back to back, it doesn't usually put things in between.
Never.
This stupid Max, they're putting inserts. Like I caught up on I watched the entire last season of Harley Quinn animated series
on Max.
On Max.
Okay.
Absolutely pulling my teeth every freaking time.
You can't watch short shows like that. Like it's different watching a movie, but you can't watch half-hour shows like that.
Yeah, put it in commercials every time you turn around.
I've got Paramount Plus without ads with the Showtime add-on. Like that's their offer. Like if you get the higher tier one, you don't get ads and it unlocks all the Showtime stuff, which you don't get by itself anywhere. But you still get the little promo. I don't even call it a commercial. It's like it's a self-platform promo at the beginning of starting something. And like you said, if you start a TV show, you get the Paramount Plus 10-second commercial.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't mind that.
Show it again anytime else.
Yeah, I don't really mind that at all. But
Hulu does the same thing. They give you that self-platform promotion. Like I don't need a commercial for Hulu. I'm already here, but
right, whatever makes you happy. Yeah. So I suffered through the Harley Quinn, and I tried watching first episode of Kite Man, but I was just done with the commercials. And
I haven't watched it either.
So then instead I switched over and I got caught up on all the back episodes of NCIS Origins I hadn't seen yet. So it's like 8 episodes of that, and watched.
You're so wasteful with your time.
I like NCIS. Skeleton Crew. I did watch those 2 episodes.
I watched the first one and I started the second one and I had to turn it off because it was late. This was last night. It was late and I felt myself do the first little
nod. Yeah.
Did I just fall asleep or did I just blink? Okay, let me stop this. Let me turn on a Theo Vaughn podcast so I can go to sleep.
Yeah. You know what? I think as far as this one goes, they've, it's definitely so far way better than what, or I should say way. I should rephrase that. It's better than what I had feared, having watched the trailers.
What, for Skeleton Crew?
Yeah, because the trailers really had me going like, oh my God, what is this pile of trash?
It felt exactly like what I expected. It has that Super 8 Stranger Things vibe to it, feel to it.
They say I don't watch Stranger Things, but
because I've watched season 1, but because we're like with this group of kids, I'm like, God, I hate following kids and stuff. Are they going to be able to insert that element of intrigue somehow? Like, will it have an X factor? And I can't determine if it has an X factor yet or not. Just that little indescribable bit of awesomeness that keeps you coming back. But the kids are insufferable on their own. On their own, they're insufferable. But when you take the show as a whole package, okay, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, the second episode introduces 2 characters to the kids' dynamics that can make it potentially somewhat interesting. To potentially and offer a little bit of intrigue, at least so far. But we'll see. That could be completely undone. Does watching NCIS automatically enroll you in AARP, Rob, or is that just an urban legend? It might. I don't know. I'm not watching Matlock yet, so there you go.
Matlock comes with a free subscription to Jello from Amazon.
Rob, are you sad that Blue Bloods ended? I've never actually. You know what? To be honest, I've never watched.
That's with Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I've actually never watched an episode of that. I've seen bits and pieces, but no, not. I've never watched an entire episode. Oh yeah, Billy Bob Thornton played a land management guy. As Stallone is unconvincing Kingpin. It doesn't remotely bother me because it's fun.
Dude, I was gonna say, like, I feel like this Taylor Sheridan guy, he kind of knows the formula for just like printing money with television shows. That the shows have this like this little vibe of, like Becker says there, cheesiness or like a little bit of humor, but it's interrupted by these just small scenes that give you that sense of, oh, that's badass, that's tough right there, that's cool. And it's not like that it would be presented as cool in any other situation other than in this show, but it works in the show. And yes, I was thinking about how as Arnold's getting older, you can't understand a word he says. As Stallone gets older, you can't understand a word he says. And Bruce Willis is in his condition he's in. But that's like the action star trinity, and none of us give a shit the condition these people are in. We would watch whatever they come out with, because some way, somehow, they're just cool. Like, they're just entertaining. It's just good. But yeah, Stallone as Dwight Manfredi is just fantastic. It's fun.
Nation, I'd say you don't necessarily have to be a Star Wars fan. So far, for Skeleton Crew, I will say
It would probably hurt it more the bigger Star Wars fan you are, for being honest.
potentially, because so far it has, aside from the fact that they mentioned a Jedi, there really isn't anything Star Wars,
overtly Star Wars about it. It's
yeah,
just in the Star Wars universe.
it's more, just so happens to be within that universe. There's a few things here and there that if you're into some of the lore, that maybe you catch a little bit extra stuff, but for the most part, it's not. I mean, it's taking place in the time
Sci-fi
period.
things.
Yeah, it's taking place in the time period that's sort of the Mandoverse time period and stuff.
Yeah, it's after Return
After
of the
Return of the
Jedi,
Jedi, but before the New Hope or the
New
new
Order.
Force Awakens or whatever it's called.
It was.
What do you know about wind turbines? They blow. Yeah.
Yeah, actually. I just pictured Louis saying that and laughing at it, at his own mention of it.
They blow.
Yeah, baby.
Like my ex-wife. Mark looks like he just threw up his mom's spaghetti. There you go. You're gonna do a little.
People realize that
versus.
reference is 22 years old, and there's been a lot of gray
hoodies since then.
Gray hoodies since then, but good joke all the same. Good joke all the same.
Yeah, but you're a white dude in a gray hoodie, therefore it must be Eminem, right?
I see a lot of those every day down here. He said it's true. You didn't check out Creature Commandos, Rob?
I didn't even realize that was out yet. What is that? That's on Max, right?
Yeah, first 2 episodes aired. The first episode was it wasn't bad. This wasn't nothing. It's like, if only 1 episode aired, you wouldn't hear me say, "Hey, you got to go watch Creature Commandos." I would never utter those words after that first episode. You white, you Eminem. Another oldie but goodie.
Oh, I know what else I watched. Last night I watched
But episode 2, Rob, was very, very good. It looks like we potentially have the structure of the series as well. With episode 1, it just feels like it's moving at a pace in which you don't really get an opportunity to do anything but just move. In episode 2, we took the team to where get the team, take the team, get the team to where we need to be. That's episode 1. Episode 2 is now the story is happening. We got the people, the places, the things. Now here's the plot starting in episode 2. But story structure wise, it seemed very reminiscent to like the Last Ronin. How after you read the first Last Ronin, you knew how the other ones were going to go. So every issue we're going to move the plot forward while showing you the flashback of the individual turtles. I feel like that's what we're potentially about to do with this.
I did watch Iron Claw last night, finally, which was took me a while, and I was like, it was funny. It's like, of all the things I knew about the Von Erichs and everything, I somehow didn't realize that Kerry, by the time he got to WWF, had an artificial foot. But I mean, I guess he did a great job of covering that up, which was great for him. So unfortunately, not a great ending for him, or for most of that family. Let's see. A noun is a person, or a place, or a thing. So says Schoolhouse Rock. Yes, that is true. That is true. What else? There's something else I was just thinking about that it was on my radar to watch. Now I can't, or that I was trying to, or that I did watch, and I can't remember. It's all become a blur. I set too much time in that damn recliner. That's a wardrobe change. Yeah, I don't know. Well, Mark just does that. That's why sometimes we need a third, fourth, fifth, or sixth person to join this panel, because I get left here just like this and go, thanks, guys. But yeah. What else happened this week? I did go to San Francisco Fan Expo over Thanksgiving Day weekend. Awfulest time to ever put a freaking con on. I don't think that I mean, even though the attendance at that convention is increasing, it's really not. It hasn't increased to what it should be. I mean, it's pretty much, I would consider it a dead con for the most part for a con of that size. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. It's spread across 3 floors. But yeah, it is a weird day. They signed a 5-year contract for Thanksgiving Day weekend. So they have this, it's set for another 2 years. But then, or at least that's the rumor. Everybody seems to have that same rumor anyways. And then actually when I was talking with, I think it was with John Jang, he said that he heard a rumor that after this current set is done here the weekend after Thanksgiving, that potentially Fan Expo San Francisco was going to be switching to New Year's Eve, which seems even stupider. It's like, who, I mean, I guess maybe there are some nerds out there that would want to go spend their New Year's Eve partying at a comic convention, but I mean, no, that's just lame. I don't. That just seems like, it's like I already don't want to go up to San Francisco to begin with. At least Thanksgiving Day weekend, if I go on a Saturday when I do, or whatever it is, the way where it's at, I can sort of get up there and get out of there without having to deal with too much San Francisco traffic. But
why are they set on doing it on a holiday? Is it meant to be like a holiday con or something?
Mike, no, I think it's just that the Moscone Convention Center is available cheap, is my guess.
Damn Mosconians.
They can get that convention center for next to nothing because it's a holiday. Nobody in their right mind would book that stuff.
It's one comic for $1.50, Raider Nation.
Oh, DC. Okay.
Yeah. They got some single. You remember in the 90s how they would like polybag old back issues to hang them on pegs and stuff? Dollar Tree has a little cardboard stand with about 8 pegs on it where they're selling individuals for $1.50. Semi-new releases.
Brooklyn, thank you. I'm well enough, and I picked up lots of stuff lately. Feel free to check out this
Picked
week's.
up a coffee mug this morning.
I did pick that up. House of Mouse. Picked up a shirt. No, yeah, no, a lot of. I got my books for my pickups for the most part posted. Only thing I didn't pick up is my normal pickups, new comic book day pickups this week.
Were they on time at the shop though?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Wednesday was the day I had my procedure, so I was recovering from anesthetic and stuff, and came home and couldn't go to the comic book shop. So all my books are on hold for me for this week, but Fan Expo is focusing on volume of shows, it seems. Second coming of Wizard World. Oh. Yeah, and I guess they're signing agreement stuff with everybody for artists, and they have to attend a certain number of them or something, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, what do you think, Mark? That's interesting. You ever feel like you're talking to yourself sometimes? I'm glad that you guys are here. What else we talk about here? Let's see. Yeah, we couldn't tell if it's one. Oh, those are the DC packs. Got it. 5 years is a long contract. It is, and I guess it probably isn't at the same time. But does seem like a risky thing when you're picking like a holiday weekend to do a con. But I don't know. It's interesting how many. What's really bizarre about it is so because Wednesday or because Thursday is Thanksgiving, nobody's moving in stuff. So like I think all the setup is done Friday morning. So Friday the con's a 3-day con, but Friday doesn't start until like 4 p.m. The con opens, and it's only open like from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that. It's like it's only a few hours. So it's pretty much everybody's setting up Friday, and then the thing opens, and they're still trying to there's still, some of them are still setting up, or some people aren't there yet. And then Saturday's the day, and then Sunday, of course, after there's a lot of family and stuff that people have that are flying out and going back. And Sundays are usually light days at cons anyways. So, I figured it's Sunday. Everybody basically condenses to Saturday. Friday is very light, and Sunday is, I assume, is pretty light too. But even Saturday, with it being a heavier day, while I was there, I was like, yeah, there were. I think the most time I spent was waiting at John Jang's booth, and that's just because the man.
Great things take time.
He was taking an hour to have a conversation with two guys about.
Sounds very Steranko of him.
Yeah, it was. It was very Steranko-esque.
Well, I'll give you the secret to getting in the front of those kind of lines after the stream. Becker knows the secret.
Well, so yeah, he was having a conversation with these. Actually, it was two different groups that were both on either end of his table there, and he was having conversations about like going over all the different books that he had and the stories behind them and how he gets his books to sell. The artists get their books. He basically talked about through the whole process, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And he's, I was there with like, I just want to get these books signed, man. But hey, whatever. It was cool. Otherwise, for the most part, it was just you could walk around, no big deal. But then again, it was odd. Like I said, it was odd. Because normally in the past, Fan Expos only had like maybe 4 comic book booths, and there's like probably 7 or 8 this time, which was kind of cool. But I blew everything on at the first comic book booth I went to. It had everything I could want right there at the one booth. And I was all right, forget it. I'll spend all my money here. That's fine. The prices were good. He had the books I wanted and conditions I wanted, and good to go. And if you haven't seen it, that was on yesterday. I dropped my SF Fan Expo haul, including a couple books I picked up just for the comic book giveaway bin, just to make Chris go, fuck you, Rob. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it was convenient. One booth. It's nice when you go to a booth, you recognize the guy at the booth. He recognizes you. You find first box you open up, you look in, you find books you're interested in at prices you're interested in. Second box I look in, I see Invaders, flip 3 books in. Bam, there's the one last book I need to complete my run. And it's like, that's it. I'm hooked. All right, let's see what else you got here. It was like, it was just awesome.
Did you just go with a little list?
I always go with.
You go and just cast a wide net. I'm a wide net suggestor.
I always go. I have like, it's a little over a 1-page long. It's probably got about 15 to 17, maybe 15 to 20 titles. With that I'm actively filling books in, and it has the list of books I need. Because even though I have CLZ, I tend to print out the ones I'm focused on. It's just easier to pull out a piece of paper and not be pulling out the phone.
Way easier. Way easier.
So yeah, I
talked about it before. I bailed on CLZ with like putting in all my. We got Labruski coming in. What is going on, homie? You made it.
Hey.
Are you familiar with the CLZ app? The comic collecting app called CLZ that tracks what's in your inventory and stuff.
His face says no.
His face says no.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, you.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you. Are you familiar with CLZ?
What's that?
Are you familiar with the CLZ app where you track your collection and stuff? But I've
No.
I've had it for a long time. It's a great app. It's a great tool. Like you can scan the barcodes on comics
Now
as
you
you
can
buy
scan
them,
the
and it
now you can scan the image.
just of the
They,
cover.
they just released it as an update came out this week. Especially helpful for older books that don't have barcodes or whatever else. But now you can use your scanner to scan just the cover image and it'll look it up in the database. That's really cool.
And it's a good app and everything. And I tried for a while to I go as a Wednesday warrior, I go and pick up my new books and sit there and scan them in. But I didn't like that being part of my ritual. But where I do use it, like with my Hulk run or Tales to Astonish, I make sure that that's up to date. My inventory on that is very up to date because I'm not actively out hunting those, but whenever I'm at a con or a show, I'm always flipping the back issues to see if they have any missing ones for a price that I'm willing to pay for them. So it's good to have that up to date because I always check on that. The same thing with Transformers. But now that I've finished up volume 1 of Transformers, I'm like, what do I need to update in my CLZ app? What run or what next venture do I need?
I always update everything just because I like to have a good inventory and I know where it helps me to keep track of my books or search for certain things for
Most of my
certain things.
inventory is pretty accurate up here. It's when you're
Well,
missing like
sure,
1 or 2 issues kind of
but
thing.
it also helps me when I'm like looking for books that, who worked on this book and I might want to get signed, this, that,
Oh
and the
yeah.
other thing. All kinds of great things on that. But it's just that when I'm at a convention, CLZ, I love having it there that I can look for if something comes up that I'm not thinking of. It's there, but to help me stay focused, I just find that a piece of paper, a little spreadsheet thing that with the current with what I'm currently actively hunting, just makes it quicker and easier to get to it, especially when I'm bouncing from one title to another title potentially, because in CLZ, moving from one title to another title depending upon where they're at or whatever, like if I have Spider-Man grouped together or something, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, they're completely different apart. Which volume is it? Da, da, da. I don't know. It's would depend upon how the internet connection is at the con. There's lots of reasons that I find a piece of paper sometimes old school and just easier for hunting through bins of books. Plus some vendors, at least not as much anymore today, but for a while, there was a time that some vendors were like really kind of like when they see you pull your phone out, they start going like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And you don't get that as much anymore, but it was there. So I love CLZ. I use the hell out of it, but I'm also still, let's admit it, everybody knows Rob's old, and so I still do things old school style too.
Labruski, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
For those that don't know, Labruski's got a channel here as well. How long have you been YouTubing? Semi-new-ish?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, I was on and off for like a few years, really. But now I'm just trying to do it more consistently.
What kind of content can people find on your channel?
I talk a lot about comics. I do an all-in-one nerdy show. That's what it's called. With another YouTuber, Lemon Nerdy, where we just talk everything, pop culture kind of, but mostly comics and movies. So yeah, that kind of stuff. So if you like nerdy stuff, then yeah, I mean, check out my channel. I just hit 200 subs last night.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Deadman. I appreciate that.
You heard it. I'm assuming you've heard of this jabroni over here, Mr. Rob's Fat Sacks.
Yes.
Printed spreadsheet table helps me sorting who's going to sign books for me. I've done that too, although I tend to. Well, it's good when I'm carrying it around if I know where I'm trying to go. Otherwise, I have a tendency to label. I'll put a post-it on each book as to who is going to be signing that book, so that way I know that. The other thing I love to do is because a lot of guys know I'm a big with getting commissions done on sketch covers. And what I love, I have address labels that are made up, and all my blanks when I bag and board them, I put an address label that's got my address, got my phone number, and it's got my email address. and I put those on the backer board for any of my blanks. So that way, when I pull them to go to conventions, I take them and I hand them over to an artist. Especially since I'm a big fan of letting the artist take it home with them, and I'll get it from you later. Not necessarily force them to try to rush to do something at the table while 75 other people are interrupting them all the time. And it just makes everything so much easier. They always appreciate that it's ready to go. That all the information's right there. Cool, and it works out great. So I highly recommend, if you guys are going to do blank commissions and stuff, is to have those backer boards labeled with your information on that, one way or the other.
That's cool.
Let's see what else we got here in the comments. Let's see. Don't let that lapse. Yeah, okay. CLZ, don't let it lapse. I guess I never thought about that. But yeah, why would they maintain their database forever? But I don't know how long they should. What's the argument for that? I think some people. Good morning, Izzy. I had some people who told me that they've. I thought for a while you could have your database, or maybe that's only the local version. There's 3 versions. So with CLZ, there's 3 versions. There's the version that's your mobile app, there's the cloud app, and then there's a local app for your PC. And so I would guess that actually the local app, if your subscription lapses, you can't add more to it, but it would maintain because it's stored locally. I would imagine that the cloud version is the most susceptible to if your subscription lapses eventually being let go, along with potentially the mobile version. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah. I went back to your notepad. I couldn't imagine trying to track. I can track if I had a couple short boxes, whatever, I could imagine doing it. But when you start talking about tens of thousands of comics, I can't imagine trying to track that with a notepad.
Excel sheet.
Well, the trick is, like, I don't know, like, I've never tried to track everything I had, just the stuff that you're missing or looking for. You kind of can assume what you have. I started collecting action at this point, and then I collected at 4, and I missed one. You write the 1, and your whole list comprises of 1 book,
Yeah, but I go back and forth and change what I'm doing. I don't know.
I get it.
And I want things alphabetized so that I don't know.
Yeah, every so often, every few years, I go back to my boxes and I'm just rearranging them, because whenever you get the new books, it's kind of hard to just. I'm not the type of guy that gets my new books and then automatically puts them and alphabetize them with the older books. It takes a while before I finally do that. So when I get to a certain point, I'll go, okay, now it's time to put this together. And I have CLZ, have all that stuff. It's time consuming for me, and I don't want to spend that time.
How to scan them in?
Yes.
No,
yes.
It's the amount you have to scan it.
Yes.
Scanning them in is easy.
You're talking about because you haven't started. Once initially getting your collection in
is a pain in the ass. That's over with. That's done with. And now you're just trying to maintain new stuff. It is time consuming.
Maintaining new stuff is easy.
I didn't say it's hard. I said it's time consuming and a pain in the ass.
That's
Most
not.
definitely. That's why I bailed on it, because you'll sit there and you'll scan, and then every now and then you'll get that one hiccup book that you have to then do. Like it's a process that I'm not at all interested in doing.
Every Wednesday when I get the new books in, I scan them in. That's it. Done.
Yeah. I think because you got it down to a science now.
Well, when you say, it's not an issue of it being confusing.
My Monday mail, after I open my Monday mail call, I scan them. After as I unbox things, everything comes in at stages before it can leave my desk. It gets scanned. And
Rob, here's a great comparison. I could walk to Atlanta. It's not hard. All I have to do is walk. It's also 90 miles away. But all I have to do is walk. It's not hard.
This isn't like your 90 mile
same
walk.
Comparison. It's a process.
It's a 90-mile walk versus in comics.
But it's easy. All you have to do is put one foot in front of the other. Done.
But
Santa Claus said it best.
I don't know. I see scanning the comics takes usually. I mean, once you have your collection in, whatever I'm picking up, whether it's my mail calls, whether it's a Wednesday new holiday pickup, it's maybe on a busy time, 10 to 12 comics. That takes 45 seconds to scan.
No, and I'm with you on that. It's creating that habit.
okay, well that's easy
You know, that's the other part.
to
It's
me.
creating the
But
habit.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Chris,
For some of
maybe
us, it
maybe,
doesn't flow
maybe you
that
should
way.
start. Maybe you should start take up smoking. That way you'll be habitual, and then you can replace your
I think.
smoking. Then you can quit smoking and replace it with scanning comics instead.
Oh yeah, I'm just developing a new habit so I can get rid of the old habit
You
that
can
I
swap
just
them out.
developed, so I can get this
25,000
new
books,
habit.
18,000 logs. It takes time. No, I getting the initial thing trust in is definitely. And Beckerman, it should be. You may especially like it now that the new feature that allows you to scan the cover art and have them identify the book, because I
Yeah.
know that's the hardest part that was used to suck was once you were putting anything that didn't was outside of the modern era where you couldn't be using barcodes
Yeah.
and or even some of the modern era directs that didn't have barcodes where you had to physically look up each book, or only thing that was a saving grace was if you had your books at least in a run that at least you could then open the run and do check, do them in mass. But still, now being able to scan the image, I haven't tried it out yet, but I just saw it them announce it this week. I'm thinking that's got to be a significant game changer.
No, it is. I haven't tried it yet. I know they're working alongside Cover Price with it because now
Yeah, Cover Price now has barcode scanning in
Yeah.
its for being able to find the book to look up a price, and that could be kind of cool.
There's only
Although
one problem.
oftentimes I'm looking at book prices of books I don't have.
No, the problem I find is that Cover Price doesn't have an embedded app. They're working on it. So I know I talked to the guys at Cover Price, and I know they're working on the app. And if you use Cover Price on a mobile device, you could create an app by it. You know what I mean? By the website. And that's where the barcode works, right? But for the most part, I use Cover Price on my computer.
Right. Well, that's
So-
exactly it. I use
but
it on my computer probably 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Or I'm looking at books I don't own.
But they got rid of the button in replace for the scan. So you can't just type the comic book that you want.
Sure,
and
you can.
then no, you could type the comic book you want, and then you have to hit the enter button to get
Oh,
the search.
yeah.
You know that but
Well, but you also have to do include
And you
the
have to
issue
pick the
number now too.
variant.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you have to use the pound sign now too.
Yeah,
And-
so it's cracking me up. I'm like, because I'm so used to hitting button even with a mouse.
Okay.
So fun stuff.
Oh no,
You know?
you don't get any upgraded features. Okay, that sucks. There's been a lot of you should really maybe consider it. I mean, I understand free is free. You don't want to give up free.
Prefers
But
the bragging rights of the grandfather
yeah.
price for the insufficient quality of the software.
yeah, there's been a lot of they do a lot of changes.
I'll take the bragging rights over utility any day.
I'm old and it hasn't taken me a while to get back on 5%.
So, but I still, like I said, I like the signature feature that they have now. That if your book is signed, you'll see that it has a signed book there, which I like. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's been it's been definitely a lot of focus on their part of getting that app updated and stuff, and constantly having little updates, and they've been listening to the users and making updates that people actually want, which are good.
Yeah. Still very affordable too. So that's
Let's switch over. Brewski, how do you collect? Do you pick up floppy comics on Wednesdays? Do you do like collected volume reading? What's your method?
I only really do collected volume reading. I don't know. I used to collect floppies, and now I just don't have the time or money really. So I just wait for the collected editions most of the time. And that's how I like prefer to read too. I like to be able to sit down and like get either a good chunk of the full story or the whole story. That's just what I kind of find most enjoyable for myself. So I don't really collect floppies. No.
I get that.
I've been for years.
I've never done really been a collected editions guy, but I have been a guy who would collect the editions until I had the full story or something, and then sat down to read them all at once.
Sure. Yeah.
You see, I'm the floppy guy. I'm the guy who likes the floppy. I hardly have any collected editions, and I like the concept of the cliffhanger. You know,
Okay,
I grew up with this issue. What the hell's gonna happen? I gotta wait 30 days. This is anticipation for it that I
yeah.
like.
See, I didn't grow up really reading comics a whole lot.
Mhm.
I really got into comics in college.
Mhm.
And by that point, that's just how I read comics, was just
Mhm.
by,
Yeah.
going to, a local comic shop and getting a collected edition or a trade or whatever.
Yeah.
Not so
What was the draw for you? What drew you in when you were in college? Which book was it?
It was Superman Red Sun.
Let's go, Mark Miller.
Yeah,
Good
I
first
love
book.
that book. I love that book. And Absolute is coming out in the springtime, so I will be getting that. Even though I don't really collect absolutes, but anyhow, yeah, I was taking a history of comics course in college.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was taught by Michael Rach, who he's a comic book writer. He's done some Marvel and DC stuff, but I think he's most known for Stuff of Legend, which is like an indie book, and seems to be pretty popular. But yeah, we were reading Superman Red Sun, and I don't know. I read it in one night, and I just really dug the story, and I liked the whole idea of it. So from there, it was just like off to the races. I haven't looked back. I've always collected comics,
Who knew that we could have taken a comic book class in college?
I took two.
Wasn't available for me. I'll tell you that much.
I took two. That was awesome.
In my
Oh,
day, we
yeah.
had art history.
It definitely wasn't offered at the military school I was going to. How's that?
I'm shocked.
To this day, you still a Superman guy?
I'm not, and I'm being honest. I'm really more of an indie comic guy. I do like Marvel and DC for sure, but what I mostly collect and mostly want to read is kind of the indie creator owned stuff. But I do have quite a bit of Marvel and DC, but Superman is actually one where I don't really like Superman a whole lot. Superman Red Sun, that's really the only Superman book I've
Someone's
read.
getting uninvited from the show. I'm just kidding.
I know, I
But
should be
that is
careful.
that is a common thing you hear from people about Superman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the way I look at it, you just haven't read the right Superman story. And
Yeah,
you
no,
said
that
it,
could
Red
absolutely
Sun is-
be it too.
But then isn't it because I hear that a lot on this channel. You haven't read the right Superman story. If that's the case, then it's not the character it is a character problem.
Well,
It's or something there. You know,
writer's
'cause
problem.
Let me do it this way,
I can
Rob.
say that with
If
anything.
if someone got into Spider-Man and picked up like this, like say they were in college and they grabbed this one-off Spider-Man trade paperback and they
Mhm.
loved it, and they went to the comic store and they're like, all right, this Spider-Man book comes out every month. Just started a new run with a new writer. His name's Nick Spencer. I'm going to check this out. I'm going to write it out.
Sucks.
And just stay with me here. And I'm going to write it out for a while. And I've read a lot of Spider-Man. I just don't really like the character. I guess I like that one story.
That's fair.
No, I mean, like, it's like that because you had Bendis on Superman forever. And if people didn't go back and read like the Jurgen stuff or read some like All-Star or Superman,
Jerry Orwell has some
Look,
really good
Or-
stuff.
As
Orwell was
a
an old-
Spider-Man guy who has said
suffered.
Spider-Man hasn't been good since Volume 1 ended.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not
So-
a character problem. The character is fine. It's the people writing him.
I think
Well,
it's a
it's
little
also
bit
the
of
company. It's also
Superman's-
the company's direction that they've
Yeah.
dictated to the writers on how to write the character. So the character might have been originally fine on how he was created, but how that's been when you get to the point where it's now been 30, 40 years, 30 years since the character's been really consistently good on, a good read, then that's not just a writer or a bad couple of bad writers. That is the editors and the direction given to those writers by the company
It's
on what they want to
an
do. And
accumulation of
now
things.
now it is.
In
Now it's like,
in
I
the
like the old
situation of
school classic.
Superman, he's probably the hardest character to write from the big two,
Yep.
because who he is,
I
what
agree.
he's supposed to stand for, like
How they've
he's the
expanded
high
his
watermark.
powers over time.
He's the moral compass. He's OP if you don't know how to write for him, but he's really not overpowered at all unless you're just a shitty writer. Like that's
I
he's
think that's the
Superman's
same problem.
vulnerable all the time, and it's just people have a hard time with the parameters of the character. The character is fine. If you don't believe me, go watch Superman and Lois. Like
Yeah.
the character is fine. Look at what Joshua Williamson's doing with him. Look what Mark Waid's doing with him. This is all current stuff you can look at that shows you the character is fine. We have more hacks in the industry than you have talent in the industry. Is what it
Yeah,
is.
and Superman's one of those guys, like you said it best. He is one of those characters that's very hard to write. It's not hard to write as in the humanistic side of Superman.
Freaky, come on.
Hard. It's hard to make it relevant to somebody. Like he's up here when everybody's here, and people don't relate to that. Therefore, they don't like it. That's why
they all they're looking at is the super, and they never pay attention to the man.
Yeah, exactly.
But he is very much so the man, very much so.
And when you focus a lot more on the dynamic of the Clark side of it rather than the Kal-El side of it, what makes Lois and Clark, even though I never finished watching it, and yes, I know you're gonna tell me something about it, but what I did like was that there was this element of family that was added to it,
which is current in the comics too.
Yeah, which
now what the big irony is what you just said is people look at him and can't relate because he's super, but if you read the damn book, Superman is looking at us wishing to relate more to the man. You know, it's like that is the common thread. Like that's on the most base level. Like it's
and it's hard to.
But then again, like bad writers make anything suck.
Yeah, so the idea is a lot of people like to read a comic book and like to place themselves as the hero, and with Superman they can't really do that. That's why Peter Parker is so people love Peter Parker. It's the same reason why people are loving Miles Morales. Batman is more of a I wish I was that guy because I know I could be that guy. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
What you should do to make Spider-Man more relatable, since he can never get with Mary Jane, make her an OnlyFans model. Then you have a bunch of comic book guys relating to this geeky kid who wishes he could get with an OnlyFans model.
I bet she is. I bet she has an OnlyFans.
You may be onto something, Izzy, because that kind of explains why everybody is really enjoying Ultimate Spider-Man so much, because it is. But there's been a lot more focus back on the relationship, and Peter is Peter, and there's all this stuff, which is great.
They've taken family dynamic out of media across the board, out of commercials, out of shows, out of for whatever reason in the past handful of years, they've systematically taken family dynamic away from our media, and there's a hole in the zeitgeist there where people are looking for it. People are loving that about Superman. As soon as they introduce it in Ultimate Spider-Man, people are like, this is all we've been wanting. You're not getting it anywhere else in no media. That's why stuff like certain little shows that just pop for no good reason and stuff like that, when you see a little resemblance of it. It was on news where Apple put out a commercial that portrayed a family in their commercial for their new buds. Like the fact that Apple as a company put out a commercial that showed a family together in the commercial made the news across numerous platforms. That's how lost from our culture it's been. People feel it.
I want to say that I'm ashamed of you, Freaky, that you would say that the peak is with he's dating Gwen. I thought you were an MJ guy with me here, and know fully well that the 100s into the 200s is peak Spider-Man.
I'm an MJ guy.
I love those first 100. Don't get me wrong, but
you see, Gwen was his first love. I'll give it that, right? But you always have you usually get past the first love, and you get to the girl that you love, and you want to spend the rest of your life. That's MJ.
Look, you don't slow tease. The fact when people say, "Oh, it was always supposed to be Gwen," or this, you don't slow tease a character over introduction over 3 different cameos over 2 years if it's not going to be a character that's meant to be super significant in this guy's life long term. I mean, that is like the longest, slowest introduction of a character in comic book history.
But that's another problem I face in comics today. They're speeding up everything.
Well,
Like-
it is, and they're not. So they're speeding up everything and how certain stories progress, but then at the same time, they're slowing it down by like the fact that these stories get spread out over like 6 to 8 issues that don't need to be sometimes.
Well, the
You
story
know,
I'm talking more in the lines on the subplotting of it, the
yeah,
aging
I was gonna
of the
say it's
character.
both. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to a specific story, if you're gonna stretch out the story, you stretch out the story. But one of the things that made it so, Spider-Man great, same thing with the X-Men, was that there was this
Okay, fair.
slow progression that led to the main conflict, right? So like, how did we get to the Dark Phoenix saga? Well, we had to go through the Phoenix saga and things like that, and that took a while to happen. Where today it's like, let's get it done within a story arc, or at least 3 story arcs, and that's the part that annoys me a lot about comic books.
It's never too early, JSS.
Yeah, so
we're not even having that argument. Actually, we both agree because he said that he agrees that Freaky
Team
agrees
win.
that it's all about MJ, that he just loves them together on a motorcycle. It's all okay.
yeah, well, hot chick on a bike is always great.
Waiting for
Yes,
the
Dark. Yes, the Dark Izzy saga will happen someday. When I want to wear my eyeliner and all that.
Tony
stuff.
Stark would lose to Bruce Wayne in a standard fight, but would win once Iron Man, Batman sides came out.
No, Bruce Wayne would beat the crap out of Tony Stark.
Well, outside of I think it says Tony Stark would lose to Bruce Wayne.
No,
but he's
way.
saying
would lose to Bruce Wayne. Okay, that's more like it.
But he's saying that Iron Man would beat Batman.
I don't agree.
I think Iron Man could beat Batman.
I don't.
In technology, yeah, because of the
What are they doing? A science fair? Or are they doing a fight?
A science fair within a fight?
Even in a science fair, man, that'd be tough. Bruce isn't an idiot at all.
He's a strategist.
To say that Batman would lose to a man in a metal suit is the most laughable thing I've ever heard. Bruce Wayne has fought countless people with tech suits, metal suits. Like, it's not fair to compare Batman to anybody because his superpower is not losing. That's literally his superpower. He's like the Squirrel Girl of the DC universe,
or losing and coming back.
Yeah,
better,
you know what
stronger,
I'm saying? Like, what's his power? I have the power to beat anybody eventually.
Yeah,
but to fight a guy in a metal suit is so basic. That's like the opening scene villains in a comic situation. Some high-tech villains robbing a bank. Let me go stop them and find out what real threat they work for. Let's get real here. Iron Man doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, comics.
Now, realistically, you put Iron Man or Superman or any of these people with abilities up against a man in a suit, like, just no, like, realistically, not a chance in hell.
Yeah, with some gadgets on them.
Yeah, not a chance in hell. You got MacGyver versus a tank. The tank's going to win 10 out of 10 times.
There you
Distance
go.
alone.
Blue Hellion got it right. Superpower is he's rich.
They both are, yeah.
Yeah, but so's Tony.
Yeah, they both are.
Who's more rich, Tony or Bats? I think Tony is.
Batman will just start throwing those little airplane vodka bottles at Iron Man. It's game over. 12 hours later, Batman didn't even have to punch anyone. Iron Man's down, drowning in his own vomit. It's over.
Give him a pill. Just have him take
Wow.
the pill. Just here you go.
Meanwhile, Tony says, "Oh, here, I get you some pearls." Drops them on the ground.
Why would you
have
say
to have
that?
a rubber band, Taylor, to bridge the distance. But without the rubber band, the tank's going to get him.
Just have a tape recorder to say Martha over and over.
Iron Man kills Pattinson, hands down. I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you
Pattinson
that.
is what? Batman Year 2 or something
Year
like that?
2, yeah. What is going on, Steve? Oh, I'm sorry. This is Burke Nasty.
I don't
Burke
believe
Nasty.
it unless I see him on here as Burke Nasty.
Have Burke Nasty in the building. A little stank.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give you one, so happy late birthday, BLC.
I will say I am always open to superhero stories. I guess specifically Superman.
Yeah, I would check out the current thing happening. I think we're like 2 issues in
Current
to
one's
the
good.
storyline where like the
All-Star's always
Return of
good.
Doomsday thing happening right now. But if you're not pulling up monthlies, have you ever read All-Star Superman?
All-Star
Grant
Yeah.
Morrison and Grant Quietly. That's a
All-Star's
treat.
good. The Doomsday storyline is actually really good. Like the progression to Doomsday
From the 90s.
Yeah, how it build up. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe too, Becker. Scott's done got better than Batman tattooed on him at this point.
What are some other Superman books that you'd recommend I check out? I've read.
Hold on, I'll tell you before Mark answers. He's going to say All-Star Superman.
Yeah,
I've read that.
We both said it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We both said it.
Yeah,
Actually.
Superman for all
You're talking about
seasons.
Superman. Talking about Superman. I wasn't paying attention.
If you haven't read it, the greatest comic ever written is Kingdom Come, which essentially is a Superman story, which explains the importance of these values and how they're timeless and a necessity. You need to read Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, which is the 2-issue Alan Moore story for Superman that ends volume 1 of Superman.
Man of Steel, the John Byrne run.
The John Byrne, that's where they relaunched Superman After Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's a 6-issue miniseries. Superman Man of Steel by John Byrne.
Science fair with
Okay, cool.
You did the science fair, man. That'd be tough.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess
Adam, kill your YouTube in the background.
Yeah.
The DC stuff I've read, I haven't been crazy about.
Superman Unchained was fun, a more recent one, kind of a badass one. Not really like this isn't quintessential Superman, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I've read Superman Smashes the Klan. Have you guys checked that out?
Yeah, of course, based
That's
on the
cool.
1940s radio show by a similar name. Yeah, that was really fun.
That was really good.
You read the history to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
You read the history to that, right?
No,
Like that
I don't think
story.
so.
No, that's based out of the.
If you read, like it's included in
The radio.
It's included in the extras, but because of how I was raised, my pops had taught me about this before that ever came out. And that's why I was super excited when it came out. But back in the day, when they were doing the Superman radio show, they did a story called Superman versus the Clan of the Fiery Cross.
Mm-hmm.
So what it was is the Klan had a big foothold in society back then. They did like that movie and the silver screen and everything, were really rallying people. And the folks who were doing the Superman show were like, yeah, that's kind of crazy, right? Like we're better than this as a society. So they did a show on the Superman radio broadcast, which you read in Superman Smashes the Klan, but they did it as a radio broadcast. And the popularity of the radio broadcast actually ruined the Klan in real life. Like Superman in real American history was responsible for demolishing the last bit of public Klanning that was being done in real life America.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. That's super interesting.
Yeah, Superman quite literally in real American history destroyed the Klan. They went underground after that and their numbers dwindled to next to nothing.
Birthright's another good one, Mark Waid.
Oh, yeah.
Birthright?
Superman Birthright, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's read Red Sun. That was actually his introduction to comic booking, period. Yeah, Red Sun's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna give him any what is it, like homework to go watch, Becker.
You know you could read that one again. There's a really good self-contained story.
Late, man.
There's a good self-contained story with written by Joe Kelly. It's like Superman versus the Authority, an Authority-like story, where he has to take someone's life, and it's like it's kind of like the premises of what Man of Steel ending up being.
Okay,
but it takes it to a different level, like why he has a moral code more than just kill the guy.
Got it.
Yeah, you wrote down For All Seasons, right? Superman for All Seasons. That's more of a
that's Jeff Loeb, right?
Yeah, Jeff Loeb.
I was just about to say. I have read that. I haven't read it in years. I read it when I first got into comics, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't remember much about it, but I do plan on rereading that pretty soon, actually.
They did a good job with the animated movie.
Check out Superman Brainiac. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank did that one together.
And the one that right before that was Secret Origin.
I have read Secret Origin, yeah, which
So
I do remember enjoying.
So there are good Superman
There's
stories.
tons of good Superman
Oh yeah,
stories.
yeah.
It's crazy.
You know, but there should be he's 80 plus years now, 86, 87 years.
We're being ageist. If we're gonna do that, we gotta pick on Rob too, and I don't want to pick on Rob.
I didn't say he's as old as Rob.
Wait, you're not that old, Rob?
Mm.
He doesn't even know anymore. Okay,
How old am I? I don't know.
age is just a number now.
It's
Well,
coming around. Another
calls
birthday's
for the
just around the
calls.
corner. So
Calls for the calls. Good morning, madam. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Instead of birthdays, we should call them levels. So, what level are you at, Rob?
You switched into a
I've
positive.
You've leveled up to what?
I'm about to level up again. So it's all right.
Level red. Depends
It
on what you
sounds
call
much
the
cooler
levels.
if you're like, I'm at level 50.
Oh,
It's now a badge of honor.
what's it called? MP points.
Oh, check out Superman Up in the Sky. That's a 6-issue miniseries by TK.
TK, yep.
That's so freaking good. And it's also a love letter to his history. Like, there's like iconic moments in Superman's history, like racing the Flash or fighting Muhammad Ali, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's each issue is almost like he builds in an homage to something massive in Superman's history into the story as he goes. It's really good.
Okay, cool.
Now next week, let us know you read them all.
All of them.
I'll come back. I'll have a full book report for each one.
Absolutely.
I'll have presentations ready to go for next
Yeah,
week.
slideshow.
You gotta get
everything.
your PowerPoint presentation. Make sure it includes animations.
Yeah, no worries. I will have that prepared.
Don't forget to watch all the movies.
Okay. All right.
Okay? Including the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2. That's important.
I'll tell you something that was exceptional and pretty new was Superman Space Age. It's a
I've read that.
standalone.
Mike Allred.
You read that by Allred? Dude,
Yeah.
that was something.
Tim Russell. Yeah, I read that one.
It was unique.
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there were certain things like, dude, when they blew up, God, what did they Lex like drop the nuke on Coast City or something? You're like, wait, what?
I don't remember. I read it. Geesh, almost a
And
year.
they've done a follow-up called Batman Space Age that just wrapped up. So the collection for that'll be coming, and it's Batman's story through that same world, same timeline.
Yeah.
But they give you this interesting ending to it that pairs with the ending to Superman, where you can see that they're building up something long-term with the whole crisis happening in the background.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they announced Wonder Woman Golden Age will be the next one. So
cool.
Ultimately building to like a crisis Allred age or something. Who knows what it'll call it, but
that's pretty cool. Interesting.
Madam, how was your week? Perfect. Back to you, Rob.
Oh, sorry, I'm picking up something real quick.
What was the comic that got you into comics, would you say, Legion?
I don't know. My dad's been collecting since the 60s. I just grew up around them. I don't have a memory in my mind without comics in it.
Yeah. Yeah, Superman Red Son. That was I guess I would say it was like the catalyst for me getting into comics, but it wasn't the first comic I read. I read Long Halloween before that, Watchmen.
You went straight to the meaty stuff. Nice.
Yeah. But I guess I don't know. Those didn't captivate me as much as Superman.
Yeah, I hear people get recommended Watchmen all the time, but that shouldn't be a story that's
good up to start with. Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to have spent some time in the media.
Yeah.
And experience comic books to really get what Watchmen is meant to be doing, kind of thing. Because it is of its time, but a lot of the social political themes they do like last, but they're not as direct because we're not in the 1980s. So with it being the breakdown of the genre itself, you really need to be familiar with the genre to understand how dissected it gets.
Absolutely.
Which is
Yeah,
this
in my
what you
comics
think
class,
instead?
we did like a whole unit on that. We would read each issue and like break it down. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. I just reread Watchmen not too long ago, and
It's amazing.
each time I read that, I get more out of it. I feel like,
That's the book that you could read all the time.
Oh,
was
absolutely.
was there anything on like his, because it's Alan Moore, but was there any talks on his run on Swamp Thing, or have you put that on any list to visit one time if you haven't read it already?
Swamp Thing, I have read Swamp Thing. Yeah, that was one of the first comic series that I read when I got into comics.
Nice.
So I read that pretty shortly
Legendary.
after I read Superman Red Sun. And honestly, I don't remember much about it. My memory when it comes to like the context of a book and kind of the nitty-gritty stuff, it's like after like a few days after I read it, it's like out of my brain. But I did enjoy it. I remember enjoying it. So that's something I will
Only
revisit.
Biggie was wondering what outside of doing like a Watchmen breakdown, what was a comic book college class like? Like, what are some things y'all do? And he mentions, hopefully there was some mention of Kirby in there as well.
So I took two. I took a comics history class, and then I took a graphic storytelling. So the comics history class, it was really just an overview of the comics history as a whole, and we dissected Superman.
Nice.
We did Watchmen, we did Spider-Man, and then we talked about more of like new characters that are being introduced today. So we talked about Miles Morales, Miss Marvel, and kind of what the difference is between I guess where the world is today and why these characters are now being introduced, whereas where the world was when Superman was introduced.
Mhm.
So it was more of a broad overview of that, and I imagine, I mean, we didn't spend any time on Kirby. I don't think really. It was more.
He needs his own course.
Yeah. I mean, for sure.
That really says a lot to like the real life history of Kirby in comics, is the fact that he's not natural. Did y'all talk about Stan Lee?
Oh yeah.
See, that's crazy. Like the forgotten legacy of Kirby that's come out. College, it takes time for colleges to catch up to the modern happenings. If they wrote the curriculum for that course now, Kirby would be in it, as he's been. It's kind of like Bill Finger, if you took a class 20 years ago, they'd tell you all about Bob Kane. If you wrote the curriculum today, Bill Finger would, his real part would be included in it, where Kirby was largely left out, forgotten, because the spotlight wasn't on him, but he was sitting there creating these characters, writing these stories and pictures alone. And Stan was just going back, putting word balloons on them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. And we did talk about that, how the Marvel approach, I think that's what it's called, right? With how,
the Marvel method.
artist really creates the story, and then the writer just goes in and fills in the word bubbles.
The writer creates the plot synopsis, but in some cases, in Stan Lee's case, the plot synopsis was 3 or 4 sentences, right? And then in the case of Kirby, and let's not forget Ditko, those guys will go in and they'll create the story that based off of those four sentences that Stan will give it back to Stan. Stan will put we'll get the lettering work done for it, the word balloons, and the dialogue for it. And that was the collaboration. So Stan was more of a plotter than a writer, if that's sense.
And he also had other jobs. His job was to get these books sold.
Yeah, he was the face of the end of the company.
Probably my favorite example is when they were the Fantastic Four example, with the Silver Surfer trilogy. Stan Lee, the first time he ever saw Silver Surfer was when Jack handed him the pages back for that storyline, and Stan gets ready to put word bubbles in, and he sees this Silver Surfer character, has no clue who he is, no clue why he's in the book. He goes back to Jack and he's like, "Who is this? What is this?" He goes, "Well, I figured if we have this giant world eater cosmic entity on the way, it should have a herald." And Stan's like, "That's a great idea." Like, Silver Surfer is like 100% Jack Kirby fly by the tip of the pen decision there. But I love the way that they work together, and I think that's a credit to those two guys. That's magic that cannot be recreated. The way those two talents could work off of each other and with each other, and it's just freaking awesome.
Synergy, as they call it, right?
Synergy, yeah,
Synergy.
cosmic synergy.
Yeah.
And yeah, JSS. Well, so did y'all cover the congressional hearings with Wortham, where they were entered the Comic Code Authority and were trying to
Oh God.
ban
But-
comics as ruining the children
No,
of
I
the
don't
nation?
think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, because that's not graphic storytelling. That's more aligned to, that's actually
Yeah.
history.
Yeah, I will say, because like I said, I took 2 classes, history of comics and then graphic storytelling. And JSS makes another point in another comment. If the class did not cover the hearings and code implementation, it's not a history of comics class. It's an art history class on comics. And yeah, I guess kind of looking back, it really does more so. What we really did was we just kind of
It's never too early.
what we
See,
did
that's
was,
why they didn't need us in those classes. Like,
Yeah,
excuse
right.
me, teacher. What about Wortham? Remember Wortham?
yeah.
Wortham.
I guess it's we dissected more characters, like we took a look at Superman and what he kind of meant for the world and how his presence has impacted the real life world.
Allegories,
Other characters
and
like
themes and
that.
stuff like that.
Yeah, it was more of inside the pages stuff.
Yeah, not
that
so
makes
much
sense.
like congressional hearing and
I mean, if you paint too
whatnot.
wide of a brush, it'd be impossible to write a syllabus for this class. It'd just be all over the place.
Now
Yeah.
will tell you what should have been the textbook for the class. I'm going to show it to you right now. This should be the textbook of the class.
Yeah.
You want to learn about comic books in the real way? This is the book.
We for my other class, graphic storytelling, the textbook was Scott McCloud's other book. It was Making Comics.
Oh, I got that one right there too.
It was Making Comics, and that course was really more just about making comic books and how panels interact in the page and I guess just storytelling within that. So that was kind of a different class overall where we actually got to make some comics, which was cool.
So this is your history book.
Yeah,
and this will be your textbook.
Yeah. I think
this guy's a genius, man. Scott McCloud.
Yeah, I've read Understanding Comics a few times. I try to read that like once a year, honestly. And the Making Comics I just read in my graphic storytelling, and I don't have the other one, Reinventing Comics.
It's pretty much rehashing a lot of the same information, so it's kind of like an updated version of it.
Yeah.
But anybody who wants to get in the field and be a creator, those are 2 books that are essentials. If you want to be a writer, I would say writing comics by Peter David's also a really good one because he breaks it down like how you should do it. Like one of the things, if you ever talk to a creator that's really embedded in his work, he treats the characters as if they're his children, like they're actual people to them, right? So when you have that, where you would know what this person would say, what this person would do, kind of thing, as opposed to just write a story. It's like, oh, Superman's gonna go do it, and he's gonna save Lois, and he's gonna make sure Daily Planet doesn't fall down 100 times and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, but to get to know their relationship, okay, what would Lois say at this moment? What would she do, and stuff like that, which is it's pretty cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I would say Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud, like. That's a great book, even if you don't plan on making comics, but like you just love comics and you really want to understand all the ins and outs. I feel like that's a pretty good book too. Yeah, and it's interesting. Like it's a fun read,
Yeah, and it's done in the form of a comic, which is the best part of it, right? So, it's not a hard read either. It's not
no. It's a fun read. I read that last year around this time again for like the second or third time, so I may reread that very soon because that is just a fun read overall, I would say. Madam, do you have any new art projects? Blue Alien Comics was wondering. No,
I do.
What's going on, madam?
I do. I got one with birds flying around the chest. I think I showed it before. But it's much more realized now.
A couple weeks ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago at least, I suggested Saga, the first issue of Saga. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
I'm biased. I really love Saga.
Okay.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe it won't be totally awesome, but
I need to go back to Saga. I think I read the first 10 issues.
I love Saga.
And it's not that I didn't like it. It's just that I just
fell off it. Yeah.
Well,
No,
it's
it's understandable.
Yeah, that's people kept telling me forever and ever and ever I needed to watch it, read it. So I
Yeah.
had picked up the first trade paperback, read it, thought it was great. So then I went and picked up the compendium. And then this Thursday, I just picked up finally a copy of issue 1, 9.8 graded. That was one of my big con pickups for this go round.
Awesome. Yeah, that's something I really want eventually is a graded Saga 1. I would love that.
Yeah, first print.
What's
Actually,
it going for now? It can't be that expensive.
300 for a 9.8
Okay.
I feel like that's not terrible.
is what the market price is on it for a first print.
Yeah.
The I get mine. I bundled it with all the raws and stuff. So essentially, the way the package deal broke down, I paid $280 for it. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I love
$280 for
Saga.
it and $100 for a stack of raw books that I
So
about.
A standard first printing, raw. Wow, a no grade sold for $3. What? I want to know what it looked like.
Who knows?
Right? No grade, but the most common is 165
for what, a 9.6, 9.4?
Yeah, in a raw format.
Oh, raw format. Okay,
yeah.
For
a
near
nine,
mint minus.
a 9.8 is actually 336. That's the cover price.
Yeah, it fluctuates. Like if you look at the sales history on it, over the last like 5 or 6 plus issues, right? It's anywhere
350. It's like a 350 range.
It bounces around there. So the guy had it tagged at $400 on his shelf when I was there, and I told I was picking up. I had a bunch of raws. I was like, oh, I'm kind of that one's kind of calling to me a little bit, and trying to see what he'd do. And he goes, well, he says, what are you thinking? He says, I said, well, the market on that book's like around $300. He says, yeah. He says, I know, I get it. He says, the market's changed on it. No big deal. I can do 300 on it. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not sure I want to spend that much on it. He's all, well, where do you want to be? I said, I'd love to be at 250. And he's just like, no. He says, I'm coming down for 400. I said, yeah, but the market's only 300. But so, we eventually we got it to where it was. Like I said, the number he put on it was like 280 on it, and then like took $50 off all the raws. Basically got the raws for 2/3 the price he was asking for.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So it was like all said and done.
Don't you just love bargaining with dealers? Sometimes it's just there's some fun tact to it that you have to have.
Sometimes it's just the things that they say. It's like, yeah, but I'm coming down for 400. Yeah, but you already knew your 400 was high, so come on.
Exactly.
Did you really? I mean,
well, was it? It was a shop. It was a shop, right? Or it was a show?
No, this was at Fan Expo.
Okay, so it's
but it was a guy who he's a guy who does a lot of shows.
Yeah,
but he doesn't really have a brick and mortar store.
Okay, it's common over here. So his intention was to sell it. You know what I mean? Because if you're a brick and mortar, your intentions usually when it comes to wall books is to not to sell them, is to attract attention, right?
Maybe both.
Well, if you're gonna get the deal, you got to get the deal. But sometimes they usually put the price at a much higher rate. If someone comes in gullible enough that doesn't know fair market values, they'll say, "I'll buy that book for $500."
There's sometimes stuff's tagged, and the market changes constantly, and you can't be constantly repricing every single thing you have as well too. And
there's also like if a shop you got to look at the formula. If someone brings something into the shop, you check fair market value of it. And you're giving them a percentage of it based on you having to hold it and resell it.
Yeah.
And then you have to keep in mind that no one's paying shipping from your shop, and you're also having to pay bills at your shop. So most things in a shop compared to online should be roughly at FMV or a little bit over FMV because you're paying for convenience as well.
And there is one other thing to factor in technically, right? And that is that depending upon the state you're in. So for California here,
it should be 10 times FMV.
We have we do have this thing called sales tax on comics, right? On things that are sold. It's close to depending on what county you're in, it can be anywhere from 9 to 10%, just about.
Okay, about what we got.
So I'm at the con. I'm not. Nobody at a con is calculating tax and ringing it up. How that vendor chooses to report their taxes is between them and the IRS and the government, but ultimately,
not your problem.
It's not. They've got to factor that into the price that they sell it for, because they do have to pay taxes on sale to the state and to the state. So there's always that aspect of it too, that you're getting. When I'm buying something there, not only am I not paying for shipping on it, I'm getting the 9% tax break off of what I'm paying for it as well too, right then and there. So those are, that's why you use cash, and that's fine. I did something that's very similar with, I had an electrician. He came out here to install for our EV charger. He said, it's X amount and it's like $1,700. He said, it's $1,300 if you pay cash. Yeah. I said, I don't care. I pay cash. I said, how he chooses. My transaction is still a transaction I have with him. It's a business transaction. How he chooses to report his shit to the government, that's between him as a business owner and the government. That's not my concern. And fortunately, when I went to apply for my rebate because I get a $500 rebate from my power company, and they're like, "Oh, well, do you have a receipt?" I said, "I don't have a receipt, but I have an email thread here where he gave me a price and he acknowledged that I paid his guys in cash." And they said, "Yep, okay, that works for us." But
right.
I mean,
guys, I have to go. I got a meeting, but before I leave,
DJ running them off.
I still got 6 books, 6 boxes left.
What did I do to you, Izzy?
Nothing, man. I got a meeting. I got to talk about AI in my meeting. Believe it or not,
that's an AI generated cover. By the way,
go there and ask Chat GPT for any answer to a question they ask.
Exactly. So this is going to be part of the mystery boxes. So one lucky person is going to get this, and I have 6 boxes left. They're going for $60 shipped. So. But this is the grand prize of them all. Fair market value. It's a great grand prize. Fair market value of it's like $175. So
fun book.
That seems
awesome. Wow. DJ, congratulations on winning that book, sir.
Well, so far he's won. Actually, would it go to CBizzle? If CBizzle wins, would it go to CBizzle, DJ? Would it go to you?
How are you determining the winner of the
technically it would go to me.
We're gonna, once all the boxes have been sold, I'm gonna do a wheel.
Okay.
So in the wheel, we'll have all the names of everybody that did it, that paid it.
Run it on your Monday stream.
We'll run it on the Monday stream,
and then rerun it on Wednesday as an individual.
No, that'll be rerun on Friday's show. No, Tuesday's trending. It depends.
Izzy, let me get another one. Let me get box number, I don't know, whatever, the first one that's available, and I'll pay you later, and I'll give that away tonight on In the Mix as well.
Sounds like a plan, man.
All right, cool.
All right, take it easy, guys. Guys, I'll see you. If I get out of this meeting early, I'll pop out right back in.
All right.
Thanks for the warning.
Later, guys.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show people. I ran Izzy off. I don't know what I did. I don't know. Is it me?
Yeah, I think he said something about the smell or something. I don't know.
Oh wow.
Oh, I just realized you rocked an Iron Man shirt to a Batman versus Iron Man discussion. Did you put that on during that talk?
No, this was just my what I had to wear.
You were already wearing that when we started that brouhaha. Okay, just making sure.
When I
JB,
first saw
good
one,
morning.
this is what I
That
was
was probably the impetus for that conversation. Was that Iron Man shirt?
Good morning, JB.
JB's a
Hello.
There it is.
I'm just here.
Hello.
Morning, Justin.
What are you working on today?
A whole bunch of stuff.
Letters.
Yeah, my
What
job.
title are you lettering today?
It's a young adult book for Matt Cave.
Twilight.
I wish.
25 Shades of Grey.
The teenage adventures of a Brooklyn lover named DJ Lynx.
Your TV's on fire, DJ.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brick.
look for it spring 2025.
There you go.
I've been in the like in holiday mode, Christmas mode. So I'll be having since I don't have a fireplace, so I rock it on the TV. Got the tree there.
You don't
I'll
need a
listen to-
fireplace. Your whole city is.
To Christmas tunes.
That's a New York joke.
Oh, roasted.
Roasted.
Whereas I feel like we haven't put up. All we've done is pulled the Christmas decorations out of the loft. That's it.
Oh
We
shit.
put some stuff up, but I think I mentioned it. We're being held back from exterior decorating because of the hurricane damage, and we're on we're waiting to get like the new roofs put on and stuff. And as of yesterday, we're officially on the we've been in the queue because the volume, but Tuesday we'll have a new roof. So that means Tuesday afternoon Christmas lights go up outside.
So you choose a roof over the holiday spirit. Damn you.
No, we
Mark.
got stuff inside, but I can't can't string lights on the house that they'll have to just rip off the house, and I can't put stuff in the front yard that I have to go take out of the front yard so they can set up. And I don't want them throwing shingles and nails and shit down and hitting anything. And I don't want to be in the way. I want them to get in and get the fuck out.
You should leave one section of the roof like messed up and just tell the kids that's where Santa landed his sleigh.
Yeah.
On that spot.
Crash landed. Santa was drunk.
Tony Stark, he was drunk.
Yeah,
That's right.
Exactly.
The people down the street were giving him bourbon. And,
Oh
Some guy
shit.
dressed as Batman was throwing little mini vodka bottles out.
I mean, it was why my kids we taught them you had to leave out cookies and whiskey for Santa. Scotch. It was always scotch and cookies. Got left for
Rob didn't
Santa.
want to drink the milk.
Oh shit.
Lactose intolerant, baby. No, give me some scotch.
Yeah, I told
gotta
America
keep 'em warm.
Chavez she had to leave out lines of cocaine on a mirror. I was like,
If I'm going to stay up, I'm going to need
yeah.
it.
Here I go. I gotta make it look realistic.
I was like, Santa needs it. How do you think he gets from point A to point B in like record time?
Santa's locked in.
Oh man,
Drop off these toys.
you just doing half a bump just to leave a
I
little bit
love how
behind.
the whole
Oh,
American
yeah.
Chavez thing just naturally stuck. Just absolutely stuck.
And it's funny because I go to say her name and I correct myself to America Chavez, which is hilarious. So for those that don't know, America Chavez is my daughter. She came in one time. We were on live stream on In the Mix, Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern. She walked in and I was just like, hey, it's my daughter. And I turned the camera to her and she was wearing like a jean jacket with like the America stuff and her buttons and shit. So I was like, oh, Mark coined her America Chavez.
I'm like, yo, what the fuck is America Chavez doing in your house?
It's like a Hispanic girl with a jean jacket. America Chavez, boom.
Boom. Yeah, nailed it.
She's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
She's just jumping through. Don't mind her.
Yeah, she's passing through.
Just jumping through.
I'm jealous of your fireplace. I think it looks great back there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm still cold though. It's not heating up the room.
It's cold down here too. We're
Right.
hitting like 20s and stuff, which is like
Oh my
That's like
god,
a-
that's not acceptable.
in January we'll have a few
Too. I
mornings
think
where it
it's
hits in the
gonna be like
teens. But
70.
Wow. Right now it's 29. Feels like 15.
It's 45. It's freezing.
I don't mind the cold.
No, it's not freezing at 45.
and you
Don't
can always put on more clothes if you're cold.
I do need to put my
That's right.
sweatshirt on probably, although I turn
For
the
me,
heater
it
on
gives
too.
me another excuse to stay inside. So
It is gonna,
I
it is
like-
gonna it is gonna warm up to 70 today.
When it's nice and sunny out, I hate
Yeah,
it.
so good here, Rob. 70.
I think we're gonna skip.
74,
We're gonna
actually.
skip the earthquakes today, though.
I just like when it's not humid. I'm just happy that I'm not sweating just because I looked out the window.
When I heard about the earthquakes yesterday, I thought Luther finally sent the nukes to the San Andreas Fault.
Right.
That's
It
what
was
I
weird
wondering.
because like out here, what happens is first we get like everybody's phone goes off because they send the
At the
alert
same
about the
time, yeah.
earthquake. And now the earthquake is
Amber
like
alert! You're about to be missing children.
it's like, the earthquake alert comes like
It's like a pink alert. It's just,
they send out this earthquake alert and it's like only about 5 seconds warning. It's supposed to be something to do something before it comes, but I mean I didn't feel it here at all. But then like probably 2 or 3 minutes later, then not only every phone but every smart device in the house and everything else starts going off with the tsunami warning thing. And it's like,
tsunami. I know
come
you got
on.
that thing, man.
I'm not even. First of all, every time we've ever had a tsunami warning here, and they go down and they've done footage of like the tsunami, it's like the water's like gone up like 6 inches at the shore, and it's like, oh, watch out. It's not like you see
People like Rob are why people die in tsunamis when they know it was
Basically.
coming.
Well, but
A bunch of
I'm-
Chicken Little
you gotta
motherfuckers out here.
Like
Also-
you know how like nature works. Like you don't know. They're like, yo, this.
no, I
could
know,
cause a
I
tsunami.
understand.
It
but-
didn't last time. I'm fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know. I understand
I'm
that.
12.
Where
I'm
I'm at,
12.
where I am physically at though, is even though the water we're near the bay, because of the way the bay is and everything else, it's like such that unless the tsunami originates in the San Francisco Bay, we're completely safe.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So
I seen
We don't
San
worry.
Andreas with their rock, and I don't believe you, Rob. I've seen
that was out,
the-
but you saw that was outside the bay.
I've seen enough movies
Oh, shit,
where
yeah,
when
good
someone
point.
says we're
I've seen San
completely
Andreas.
safe,
I do
that's when
believe
shit
you.
goes down.
He had to go out at the bay to go.
No, what was funny is he was sitting there on that little twin engine, little life raft dinghy, passing all these yachts and passing all these speedboats and passing everything. That was such a good movie. My birthday's in May. Damn, Pops.
Nah, because he said about celebrating a birthday, and I misread. So it's Melody's birthday in right before Christmas. You got to double up on that present, bruh.
That's how I got my son is coming up in a
Happy
few
birthday to
days, and then my
Melody.
wife's in a few days after that. Then comes Christmas. Then
Jesus, Rob, you just hate December?
oh no, you don't understand. We got so it's like December is got my son's birthday, my wife's birthday, Christmas. January is my birthday. February is my daughter's birthday, and Valentine's Day, and March is our
Ever thought about just, like,
anniversary.
leaving your
So in
family for a month?
in 4 months, we do all everything that you need to buy presents for happens all at once, and
So
then
you
you
are
got 8
dirt
months.
poor at
Then
the
you got
end of- at the
then you
end
got
of
8
March.
months off.
You got 8
Right,
months
well,
of mail
well,
call
family
videos.
trip.
Well, the problem is you get
Take them to
those 4
Wally
months, and
World.
then you go right into tax season.
Oh God.
Wow. I used to back in the day. So my old friend group that I used to run with, all of our birthdays were in the same week. So it was like
Now they're all in
like
prison.
like 6 of us. Now they're dead.
Wow.
They're dead. I sold them
Wow.
out.
To me at least.
He sold them out. He took them out.
Yeah, no. So we
It
always
was
used
part
to
of an
have to do,
initiation to get DJ into the comic book community. He had
Yeah.
to kill his old friends. That was back in the old day when we were it was a lot harder group to get into back then. Now you just have to be a nerd.
Now it's very welcoming.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
This is super easy as opposed to running around $150 and people.
Brian
you
said he's
go.
going to lose his bay one day. One day it'll all be gone, piece by piece.
Tsunami. Yeah, there's nothing's gonna happen as you're looking at a 60-foot wave headed toward you.
I'm more
Yeah.
concerned about the 350-pound man coming off the 15-foot high cage. That's more what I'm concerned about. But I guess
I'm surprised they even
he'll
give
be
the-
out for a while, so it's all right.
I'm surprised they even give you an earthquake warning, just so you can get into a door jam or something real quick.
You don't,
or,
but there's earthquake. So that's what they're experimenting with the earthquake alert. But it's only about 5 to 8 seconds of warning
Jesus.
at both. Earthquakes aren't something that you can predict. It's not like a tornado where you can see it coming, the clouds forming, or a hurricane. You see it moving for days,
But
approaching
aren't they monitoring
landfall.
the seismic activity of the plates underneath the ground?
There's no way to predict where you might be able to detect some of the stresses and stuff that are accumulating, but where it's actually going to give and break and everything else and how severe it's going to be, there's no good science on that. That's what they've been spending. They spend a lot of money trying to predict it, but
I disagree.
Boom, got a $2 super chat for Justin Birch's appearance free from Blue Hug.
I disagree. There's
Keep
one
super chatting, keep JB coming back.
Yeah, there's one scientist running around telling everyone the big one is going to happen, and people keep shutting him up.
and it keeps not happening. Yeah,
Like, get out of here, Bill, with your stupid science, with your fringe science.
Yeah, I went on that rabbit hole on volcanoes, which ultimately leads you to the same rabbit hole as earthquakes, because tectonic plates and stuff. And y'all have got a massive. You're gonna have to blame Canada. So Canada is running into y'all over there in the Pacific Northwest, and there's going to be it's a subduction line where the Cascadia fault line from Canada is subducting under the American one, and it's going to pop. And 9.0 is what it takes to destroy your state. So when y'all had a 7.0 out there in the ocean yesterday, I asked Eman, where did it originate from? He's like, Earth. I'm like, okay, it can't be that big of a deal.
I thought it originated.
it was off the coast in the
Yeah. But if that Cascadia fault line pops, which they're predicting like a pop, like 30 to 50 years, it should have a good pop at some point.
So
but if
but that's it. Everybody's
life,
most of these predictions of earthquake stuff is always like, well, we know that they're going to have these big releases. They happen, and you go like, well,
no matter what,
it seems to be in this range that they can look at historical and kind of go like, oh, it looks like it's been this often, but that's still not a prediction of past.
That's an
just like the stock
guess.
market, past performance is not a predictor of future performance.
Well, and also when you look at like how people like geological study is, dude, relatively speaking, it's a new field of study. Like, I mean, people haven't been around these instruments and capabilities of measurements for long. I mean, you can look at geological features and make assumptions and get ideas of where to look next, but when it comes down to it, we don't fucking know much about anything with this planet.
No.
That's the scary part.
Island really soon with a boat and a fishing pole and a net of fish.
I could see Mark in.
I can see you smoking those, Rob.
Here's the deal: when it comes to earthquakes, we all live in California. We have experienced so many of them that most of them, the only ones we really worry about are the really, really, really super earthquakes. If it's less than a 6.0 in California, for the most part, who gives a shit?
Are y'all built like Japan? Because Japan had that. Well, they had a 7.0 a couple years back that absolutely.
And they renovated the entire city, and all the buildings are now rubber.
Yeah. Oh well, look. So a lot of the today, when buildings are built in California, they're built today. Anything built since 1906, for the most part, is built with some semblance of understanding of how earthquakes work. We don't have brick buildings here. We might have buildings that have brick facades, but we don't have buildings that are made of brick like you guys have where you're in Georgia, right? Because you guys are trying to withstand winds and fucking flying objects being propelled by 100+ mile-an-hour winds. We don't have that. Instead, we have a lot of wood construction because it needs to be able to flex and move. We have skyscrapers that are built actually on suspension systems, so that way the building can move and stuff on its suspension.
Buildings remind me of those blow-up guys in front of the car seals,
Somewhat, they do. You have to. They've come on new things like after the 89 Loma Prieta earthquake. A lot of the damage that happened in the bay happened because the soil is fill soil, and so when you shook it up, the water was able to fill into the soil, liquefied the soil, and caused a lot of damage. So now there's a lot of the newer construction stuff since then, that how far down you have to go with your pylons in order to hit bedrock. You can't just go down a standard phase. So construction always evolves. Yeah, there's damage as you go up, but for the most part these days, anything in the 5s is definitely super strong, and you'll have some people will lose, like, oh, a picture fell off the wall and I lost some glasses and this type of stuff. But until you get to the 6s, I don't, the high 5s, low 6s, I don't see in California for the most part where there's a lot, you're going to see anything extensive. It's mostly like, oh, the grocery store, look at this, they lost all the wine, fell off the shelf. Yeah, that's devastating. But it's at the same time, it's not. Whereas I totally get it. If you took, a 4.0 or a 3.0 earthquake and you transport to places that are not used to earthquake stuff or they're not built for it, it can cause a lot more damage and stuff than it does here.
Yeah.
So we just get used to it and go up with it to the point where it's like, it really is like the beginning of LA's story. If you've ever seen it, where earthquake happens and people just keep going on. They don't even look at duck and cover.
Doesn't even faze them.
It really doesn't. You just go, oh, is that an earthquake? Oh yeah, I guess it is. Okay, cool.
Right.
But yeah, Brian says 89. It changed everything in Northern California. It did. And oddly enough, that 89 earthquake, I was I lived 13 miles from the epicenter. I was actually up really, really close to it.
Wow.
But the difference was where I lived was up in the mountains. Where the epicenter earthquake happened, it was up in the mountains. We had very solid ground built on the granite and stuff. So most of the people around me didn't have extensive damage. All the damage happened like in San Francisco, over 100 miles away, because that's where the soil liquefied, and they were on crappy soil and stuff. And you had the bridge fall, you had the elevated freeway collapse. And I'll tell you that to this day, though, that's the thing that bugs me the most. It's like when I drive to San Francisco, I do not like the stacked, layered, elevated freeways. They drive me nervous as all hell, because that's the thing I remember seeing a lot of, was just completely collapsed roadways and people's cars sandwiched between upper and lower decks of roads and stuff.
You have double-decker like highways?
Yeah, so in San Francisco and some of these areas, you'll have the road, the highway will be elevated, so you have regular street level traffic, and then there's a level that's one direction and another level that's the other direction.
Well, you have no room there,
side
too.
by
You
side.
have to build up.
Yeah, it's just high, so it'll be stacked. So you'll essentially have like 3 levels, and in certain areas as they try to move freeways through the city. And so yeah, those areas, that's where you had these. They collapsed on top of each other and people got sandwiched and stuff and sucked. But those elevated freeways and overpasses, those things are the ones that drive me crazy to this day. I can't stand them. But
that's crazy.
This is for Rob's Scotch and cookies on Christmas. Well, I appreciate that, sir.
I applaud your Scotch. It's quite clever.
Yeah, nice. Usually it was a 12-year-old Glenlivet. Usually,
Santa had expensive taste.
Santa didn't want cheap. You want good toys, you got to get good stuff for Santa. You leave cheap Scotch, you get cheap toys. I mean, come on.
That's true.
Multiple ramps and some of the way. Yeah, we do also have what's called the maze. If you're ever in Oakland, they have what's called the Oakland Maze. And that is an area where there's like 4 different interstates all come together. And there's a series of flyovers and stuff. It really does. It's just a jumbled mess of roadways as you can get from any direction to any direction on any of these freeways. And it is, I hate it, man. There's some of them where you get up really high and it just like, if you have anxiety about bridges and overpasses or whatnot, man, I swear, that's the worst part going to the Berkeley Comic Show to me, is having to go through the maze. That is just very nerve-wracking. But some people don't care.
I thought you said like maize, and you were going to talk about corn.
Corn? No. Well, we can talk about corn if you want.
No,
I'm all ears.
How,
There is a kernel of truth to that.
wow. How early do you guys or late start your holiday shopping?
I haven't started mine yet, really.
Fuck the holidays. Everyone
But-
needs a hug.
You know,
There you go.
You know, I'm
it's
serious. Like we don't need to go out and spend a ton of money on all this
That's
stuff. Write a heartfelt letter to the ones you love. Give it to them. Tell them how you really feel.
That's
That's
lame, though.
I'm trying not to do as much on that. So it's like, well, this year it's like easy for my wife and I. We decided, you know, we're just going, oh, hey, you know, because we got a cruise in March that we're going on. So it's like, okay,
you're
the-
Xing
and
it
the-
out.
we're saying, you know, the cruise payment's coming up, so there's our holiday gift, and we're cool with that. The kids, you know, just want
Hugs.
money these days.
Hugs.
So it's easy. I let
Hugs with $100 bills behind your
right. Well, maybe I'll give my son his first month. My son, come January, if he doesn't have a job, he's got to start paying rent. So maybe his first month's rent will be free. Maybe that'll be his freaking birth.
That's smart. What about you, Labruski?
I've yet to start Christmas shopping. I'll probably just go on Amazon and order a bunch of shit for my family. And yeah, I should do that today, actually. That's a good reminder. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I gotta give some gift cards from Amazon, including one for my postman. Don't forget to get a gift card for your postman.
That's a
yes,
good idea.
I used to throw paper, and I enjoyed those
Or
holiday
cash.
gifts.
He likes cash
Man.
too, but an Amazon gift card works well too. I figure if you can't find it on Amazon, you probably don't need it.
True.
So I'm looking for guidance, Rob. How big of a gift card should I give to the post guy?
Well, depending on how many packages
Bucks.
you get, I generally get, because I get a lot of
A lot,
packages,
yeah.
I usually give them like a $50 gift card.
Gotcha.
Whoa, Rob! I would be so happy to be delivering mail to you.
I know.
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, $50 doesn't seem like that much considering how much he does. And I
You
want to
live
make
in
sure
California, madam. That's
I'm
like
only-
you giving your mailman $7.13.
I'm only giving it to him, to my mailman, who's my regular mailman, not the fill-in guy. That's for sure. The fill-in guy sucks. He
Man,
can
fuck
get
that filling guy.
the fill-in guy can get a bag full of coal.
I hate that filling guy. He has such an attitude.
Oh, mine only delivers half the time. Half the time, the days when I don't get mail, I go, "Oh, it must be the fill-in guy."
Yeah.
Yeah, exact fucking.
And sure enough, I look at the footage, and
Where do you get him a gift card to, Rob?
usually Amazon.
Perpetuating the cycle.
It's great. What I do is I order the Amazon gift card. I have him deliver it to me, and then I give it to him. You don't want to give him the physical card. You don't want to be cheap and print out one and give him a piece of paper you printed out. Yeah.
Can you make me big for a second, Legion?
UPS driver? No, I don't give the UPS driver nothing. I don't get enough stuff from him.
Oh,
Your cat's on fire.
What is that?
So he
That's
thinks
Rupert,
like
he's staying warm.
Oh,
Yeah,
what a
Rupert-
beautiful kitty.
he thinks the TV is like a window. So whenever we have something up there, like he'll run up and like attack it.
Oh, that's
Oh, great.
awesome.
You should put a
What
fish
poor
tank one
cat.
on there. So that way he's an aquarium.
Oh, that'd be
And
hilarious.
watch him.
Oh,
You should
man.
put on some squirrels or a nature show for him.
All right, let's do that.
I do have the dog TV every once in a while. Put it on. It's like the dog going for a virtual walk.
Hey, there's just a bunch of cats or fish or butter, squirrels. Or
How
small things.
old version are you working with?
What are you talking about?
Your letters and numbers shouldn't be horizontally all the way across anymore. The
Maybe
search
that's how
bar
this is.
should be stacked.
Sorry, Jesus.
No, it's okay. You're the ones having to suffer through it. I hate that for you.
Rup,
Yeah, that looks tedious.
I would have just typed in
Okay.
aquarium or something, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that'll do it.
What the
Versace.
hell, you're not even on premium? You're not even on premium?
no, I'm not on premium.
Well,
There
sure,
you go, some birds. Giant bird's gonna get you, Rupert.
That explains your search bar.
There we go.
Oh, he's awake now.
Oh, what's that? Is that
Because I put the sound on.
He's watching it now.
You don't want to fuck with that bird, let me tell you.
I know
That bird's gonna eat you. This is how
So-
you teach him about hawks and stuff, right?
So Rupert is a rescue, right? So he was outside in front of the house for like a week before we took him in, and all he wanted to do was play. So there's other cats, like indoor, outdoor cats from next door. So he would go up to them and just walk up to them like that, and then they will smack him, and he would just stay there smacked. So he's super, super sweet.
Oh.
Get it, Roop. Get it, Roop.
Is he
Kill the
all
bird.
white, DJ?
He's full white, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
almost
god.
named him
That's
Tyler.
so cool.
Full white.
No, he's I forgot his breed, but he's more like a cream color, and then on his tail he has some orange, and on his ears there's some orange.
Oh, so he's like a mix. He's like a calico mix.
He's I forgot the breed, like a fine point Siamese, I think it's called. It's a
Oh,
crazy.
really? Wow.
Yeah. So,
We are
Yeah,
Siamese.
there he goes. There he goes.
Show me that ass. I'm gonna smack that ass.
wow.
And that's how Rob got his first charge, but wouldn't be his last.
Yeah, there he has his hand up, like ready. Get it, Ruby.
Yeah, it was little paw. Yeah.
Why normally I'm like yelling at him, stop, get down. Leave Robert De
I
Niro
was about to
alone.
say, can y'all imagine having so much money you don't care if your cat claws up your 80-inch flat screen?
It's just a TV, and that's a cat. So
We do anything for entertainment.
Yeah. This is better than 90% of what Disney puts out.
So the other day he was there on the TV, right? So he was doing this. So then I switched it to the Spotify app, and then I put the volume all the way up as it was just quiet, and then I played System of a Down, BYOB,
Nice.
and then it just bears. And he just stood there like, where the hell is this coming from? Like he didn't get scared or run away or anything.
I'm telling you guys, once you put on a pair of pants, you can do anything.
that's right.
Nice.
That's
Well,
right.
I've been trying to get out of my
Right.
pants and into a kilt, so
That's how Rob caught his second charge, which also wouldn't have been.
Is that your cat? Oh, I love it, DJ.
Do you
Yeah,
wear
that's-
anything under your kilt, Rob?
That's my little guy.
why
Are
would
you
That's
supposed
personal.
to wear something under your kilt?
He wears what the good Lord gave him.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's like a tradition of like, you know.
Well,
free-
traditionally, no,
free
but
balling
yeah,
it under the
most
kilt.
you know, because I'm not akin to keeping my legs closed, I'll wear some underwear.
That's good.
DJ Links is up there.
I feel better now.
I got a
for
man,
all
I got a
parties
man
involved.
spread. Yeah,
You're muted, Links.
he was talking about it.
We
Yeah,
can't hear your witticisms.
Yeah, I told Rob he's supposed to free ball it, but he kind of disrespected the entire kilt wearing community by wearing underwear.
What?
but I'm also not traditional, so I'm also not Scottish or Irish, so
You're not?
no,
Then
I
why
love
do you
that this
kilt?
isn't like just for the cat; it's for Links as
because
well.
for comfort.
He's like turning back.
Caroline, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mark. You're looking pretty festive in your Batman toboggan.
Thank you. It's a Santa hat.
Your Santa hat. Yeah, I'm. It's Friday. Thank God. I think everybody is probably getting to that time of year where we're all kind of burning out with the work stuff.
No.
Yeah. Because you never stop. We know Batman.
No, I'm
But-
saying this is the time of year where I'm energized, where I'm
You make a lot. You get a
rejuvenated.
lot of work during
Oh,
around these.
Work is excessive, but it doesn't. It doesn't supersede the Christmas cheer.
For me,
I've got my staff beat down at this point. They've already been baptized with the
in the
season.
fire and blood of pet grooming.
Well, no. I turn on Christmas music the day after Halloween,
Or,
and they're not allowed to touch the music.
The day after
So,
Halloween?
The day after Halloween, I turn on Christmas music, and they are not allowed to fuck with my Christmas
Oh
music.
shit!
And the
Yesterday,
ones that have been there for a little while know they're not allowed to fuck with it, and they're on board at this point. So what I do is I beat down. It's like a multi-step process. You turn on Christmas music, and everyone's annoyed.
How the hell?
By 2 weeks, they are beat down. By 2.5 weeks, they're fucking defeated. By 3 weeks, you can walk back there and they're working,
they're
and you
singing
hear them.
it.
You'll hear them hum something or just sing one line. Those like scrubbing something. Those hit you with the "Walking in a Winter Wonderland," and then they'll stop singing, but you fucking heard it. So by December, they're all festive. They're all singing. They know the words. That Right Buble song drops, and they're actually excited it dropped, and we're there. Don't let Mariah Carey come on. We're
Good indoctrination, Mark.
This sounds like how Santa tortured the elves for them, get them to turn Stockholm syndrome.
It works.
Yesterday was the
They're
first
not going to
day
be. They're not going to be downers
played
on
Christmas
Christmas. I won't
music.
have it.
You did it to me too. I'm over here in the holiday spirit, like
Yeah.
rocking the Christmas music. I'm just like, damn it, Mark.
I love Michael Bublé. I saw your face there, Caroline.
I think
Yeah,
Michael
I'm not
Bublé.
a
I
big
think
fan.
Michael Bublé loves Michael Bublé. Like,
Legion is a maniac confirmed. Big fact, Biggie. Big
we didn't
fact.
need him to talk about Christmas music to fucking confirm that.
But the cool thing is, like other staff members have like they've become Christmas people over the time, and they decorate now, and they're the ones that put up lights and stuff, and it's fun. We don't have the lights up and stuff yet this year.
Dude, have you heard? I think it's the Christopher Lee heavy metal Christmas albums.
No,
Dude, Christopher Lee does.
Sauron?
Yes. No, fucking Saruman.
Saruman, my bad.
Yeah, hold on, let me go. He does he's
we can't
passed,
play it
but
here.
every year he used to do heavy metal Christmas songs.
We can't play it on here.
Christopher
That's
Lee.
Christopher Lee. Here, I'm
Fucking
seeing
Dracula himself.
I think
Yeah,
like Metallica and Pantera, make some Christmas songs.
Here you go.
Yeah,
I'm
Count
putting it right
Dookie.
here. You're gonna share this motherfucking link. I just put it in the chat. But that is Christopher Lee's holiday music. It's fucking amazing. A heavy
When
metal.
I think of fun holiday music, I think of Bill. What's his name? Bill Nye, not the science guy, but from Love Actually.
No.
No,
Oh
I-
yeah, that guy. He's great.
Christmas.
He's
This
so
is like there's too many syllables.
funny. Yeah, I love him. That guy was the funniest. That's basically
Victor in
cool.
Underworld, right?
Yeah,
I had his attitude. I
yeah,
relate
it's
to
so
him.
funny him trying to work in Christmas with one too many syllables.
What's your favorite Christmas tune?
Oh,
Me?
Mariah Carey, "Oh Holy Night," like her version of that is just next level.
Everyone.
I do like a drummer boy.
I was gonna say,
I do
I
like a
always like
drummer
the little
boy.
drummer
For
boy.
the sticks, right?
I do like me a drummer boy. He's just like boom, 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 Jesus.
It's such a sweet song.
Oh, thanks for hopping on, homie. And on this stream, feel free to interrupt anybody at any time. It's kind of standard.
We don't mean shit, dude.
Yeah,
What's
we're
your
no
favorite tune, madam?
That's the little drummer boy. Carolina.
Yeah, two little drummer boys. Wow.
Yeah, that's a big favorite of mine.
That's
Well,
actually
good
Rob's
question.
name on the inside. It's his nickname in the pin.
Nice. Little
Yeah, well, outside the pin, he's called Big Dog.
I thought he was just called Handlebars.
I don't know what you do with the drummer boy.
JB,
I don't
what's
do
your
what
favorite
you do with the drummer boy.
holiday tune?
The Night Santa Went Crazy by Weird Al Yankovic.
You're doing putting up Christmas decorations Sunday
Sounds
night.
violent.
Yeah. I did just start jamming out to Christmas music yesterday. I put on, this is such a hippy dippy thing, but Sufjan Stevens, you guys, if you're a little indie whiny crybaby bitch, like that's kind of him.
The
But
one
I
from
like-
Daredevil, Biggie.
And Sufjan Stevens does like 4 hours, 5 hours of Christmas songs, and I love that album he does.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
I'm gonna post the link to it too.
Oh, that's a tough one. Like I think A Christmas Story. If I had to only ever have one,
You
but
just
for
pick
me
one.
in modern times, Christmas Chronicles is like my favorite Christmas movie.
Rob?
I like that Christmas movie with Dudley Moore. I think it's
God
just
damn,
called
Rob, you're
Santa
different.
Claus, where Dudley Moore's the little he's an elf, and like there's a little homeless boy. Yeah. I think Kurt Russell may play. No, I don't know. Who plays? I'm going to see. I'm going to look it up. Or just called Santa Claus the movie. And do you remember Prancer?
The stripper?
No, Prancer, the fucking Christmas movie.
She goes hard, dog.
She goes hard. She does that. She has that trick with the bubbles.
Yeah. She also has a lot of like welts from all the coins people tossed at her.
Yeah.
She never healed properly.
Did not.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
DJ, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie has to be The Night They Saved Christmas. It's like an 80s movie.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, with like Jacqueline Smith and Art Carney.
It's kind of creepy when you look back on it. Like you showed that to like a new audience of young kids. It's kind of, I don't know.
I haven't seen it in so long, but I remember that was just a staple in the house back then every Christmas. So every Christmas it was that, and every Easter it was the greatest story ever told. So.
Justin, what about you?
Without a doubt, Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, that's a good one.
Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah, with Michael Caine fucking being the meanest Scrooge ever.
Rob, do you remember, were they in black and white or?
What?
Oh, March of the Wooden.
She's roasting Rob. Oh no.
March of the Wooden Soldiers was that shit was bomb too. Every Christmas morning it was on regular Channel 11 with Laura and Hardy.
Oh yeah.
Was it
the Guardians of the Galaxy one? That was a great special. I'm going to have to watch that again this year.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I always around Christmas I watch Babes in Toyland.
We still haven't heard Rob's answer. Let's get Rob in here.
Every year we watch Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's a Halloween movie.
It is not.
It is a Halloween
fucking with you,
movie,
Rob.
Rob.
I'm just fucking with you.
Listen, I will tell you. Is Christmas in jeopardy? Yes. Does Santa save Christmas? Yes.
Christmas is always in jeopardy.
It's a Christmas movie.
Oh my god, this is formal.
This guy said ergo.
Ergo.
His favorite character in the Matrix was definitely the architect.
The
We got
architect,
some
yeah.
philosophical arguments.
Ergo vis-a-vis love.
I was like on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase. I was like, if that comes on, like I'm always watching that. That's
Sugar's full.
But yeah, but otherwise, I mean, I think Mark mentioned that Christmas Chronicles was
So good.
Oh yeah.
Home Alone 2 is on
TV.
Sorry, Rob.
Oh, I thought we were ad-libbing.
I didn't want to. I feel bad because I cut off Rob.
No, I was done.
Okay, good.
My favorite, I didn't get to say my favorite Christmas song. The War is Over, John Lennon. That shit slaps, dog. So this is Christmas.
Oh yeah.
And what have we done?
Yeah.
I didn't know that he wrote that originally because there's so many different versions of it at this point.
It's John Lennon, yeah.
Die Hard and Home Alone. Those are a good pairing.
Yeah, Die Hard for sure.
Yeah, Die Hard is the shit. I need to watch Die Hard.
Bruce Willis always said that he didn't consider it a Christmas movie. I'm like, yeah, it's at Christmas though. It's at a Christmas party.
If Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then for your consideration, Iron Man 3.
Batman Returns.
I would say both of those are Christmas movies.
I would too.
Batman Returns is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah, you won't consider Nightmare Before Christmas. You guys suck.
That's a Halloween movie.
I don't think it's not a Christmas
It's actually
movie.
got Christmas right in the title of the goddamn movie.
It also has Nightmare, so.
Santa Claus is a character in the movie.
Christmas Story.
He wears a Santa Claus
Offices.
outfit. There's Christmas trees. There's
Shoot
he
your eye.
rides in a fucking sleigh.
I've actually never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas in its entirety.
It's so good.
It's not bad. Yeah.
I tried to watch it several times. I actually own it, and it's one of the few movies that I fall asleep. Like I just fall asleep. I don't know why. Sorry, Rob, or Handlebars, as they call you in prison.
I think when the Oogie Boogie Man, is that right, Rob? When the Oogie Boogie Man comes out, that's the best.
Oh, his name is Oogie Boogie.
It is Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, but he has a Bugussi.
But he,
but does he?
He's a
but
Bugussi.
during the song, he is I'm the boogeyman. So
I'm
yeah.
the boogeyman. Okay.
I'm the boogeyman.
That's a fun song.
Wow, that's from The Crow too.
don't think I've ever seen the Crow 2. I gotta
Well,
see.
Rob Zombie song was featured in Crow 2. Anyways, yes, Oogie Boogie song. I'm the gambling boogeyman. Yep.
DJ, what did you? I know what you thought, but I haven't had a chance to talk to you, man. How about that finale?
The finale of the challenge.
Yeah, obviously.
All right, we're talking Superman
It,
and
it was
Lois.
it was a challenge to watch it and not. It's impossible to watch it and not just get wrecked. But
Yeah. So I have, before I give you my thoughts on the finale, just some thoughts on the overall show, Superman and Lois. So I watched season 1 and 2 in its entirety when it was on HBO Max, knocked it out. It wasn't something that I was like looking forward to, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but I enjoyed it, especially Tyler Hoechlin, whatever his name is, as Superman. Once season 3 went on, I watched it last month, actually, or this month, rather, and I thought the level of quality, the jump from season 2 to season 3, was insane. It was just like real, like prime time stuff. Like I really enjoyed it. So then that carried on into season 4, and I was able to catch up, and I watched the finale live. And you and I spoke about, like, the only thing I wanted was to see the sun suit up. That's all I wanted. So when they showed, yeah, when they showed him,
we thought that's all we wanted.
that's how I thought it was going to end. Them suiting up, like running to the whatever, Avenger style or Justice League style. And they did that around the like 35-minute mark or 40-minute mark. And I was just like, what the hell? And then everything, I'm not going to say what happened because I encourage everyone to go watch it. Everything unfolded and it was a surprise to me. And I sat there on the sofa fighting back tears, and then I couldn't fight them anymore. I was like sobbing. Like, it was just beautiful for me. It was probably one of the best series finales ever filmed, ever. And it's not like a character or a show that I was just like, yo, this is my favorite show of all time. It wasn't, but that episode, bro, like it broke me. Like, even thinking about it now, I'm like getting kind of choked up.
What episode broke you?
The
series finale to Superman and Lois.
Wow.
It's
But
easily
I watched
the greatest
the first
series finale
episode.
that's ever been made.
It's a big statement.
And this is what I
It
hear is that everyone cries at the end. So this is why I'm going to continue watching.
Yeah.
You're gonna cry in season 3, madam. I promise.
I watched episode 3 of Dune yesterday.
So did
I haven't seen that yet, so feel free to talk about it, but don't get into detailed spoilers.
No, but hold on. Let's just before we go to Dune, the Superman thing. What was your take, Mark?
Oh, dude, I've been very vocal about it. It's the best thing I've ever seen on television. That was my favorite like chunk of Superman media I've ever seen, read, period. Like, that was, I think
It's
that they
encompassing
embodied,
a place in his mind, DJ.
they embodied everything that anyone has ever thought Superman should be. He is that in this show. And by the end of it, if you watch the whole thing, I mentioned it to Rob. I asked him if he planned on checking out the series. And I said, if you don't plan on checking out the series, at least go watch the finale. It won't have the weight. It won't have like the level of everything that it would if you saw it all and you understand all the context to it. But you'll see how much and how well they understand Superman. And dude, this guy is Superman. Like, it's crazy. And I was in a conversation on comment section on something, and somebody pointed out like how it's kind of odd how Henry Cavill looks like Superman but didn't really embody Superman, and Tyler embodies Superman but doesn't really look like Superman to them. And I'm like, well, Heath Ledger didn't look like or embody the Joker either until he was done with his performance, and now that's like the Joker standard. That's how Tyler is. This is the standard, the new standard for Superman. Like, he understood the assignment and elevated it. The writers of this show, I still don't have a clue who they are. I need to figure out who it was show running this, and but it is
it's
insane.
tough. Like, like Cavill, even though like physically is the embodiment of Superman, he's a Brit. Does he really get what Superman is? I don't know. It's like,
so he's a good actor.
That's not fair to say.
I mean,
just
I guess you're right, because
that should be on TV.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. It's not, because he is more universal. Superman is universally recognized.
Yeah, I would implore everyone to watch. If you're not going to watch the entire series, just watch the last 2 episodes, because the episode picks up in the middle of a fight scene.
Yeah, the last 2
So,
episodes are like one. Well, the
yeah,
whole the
it's
series
like
is
it's
done
like a
very.
movie almost.
Yeah,
I heard
the last
Monk
2
was good, and I never got to watch Monk, but I've heard really
Yes.
good things about that.
Man,
Monk
fuck
was-
Monk.
Me too.
Fuck Monk.
Again-
Why would you
again
want to
with
do
you.
that?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, no.
We got bothered about that.
Monk, I enjoyed Monk, but it's not for everyone. It's not going to be. It's obviously not an action thing, so it's more that quirky detective. So it's kind of like a modern day Columbo, except that if Columbo had OCD.
I guess the American statement that I made is that because comics are kind of like a uniquely, at least the strain of comics from which Superman arose was a uniquely American moment in pop culture. And I think sometimes maybe it might be a little difficult for someone who was not born and kind of ingrained in that pop culture to sort of understand. But that's not fair of me because
At a certain point, I'd agree with you when he was used as like war propaganda and stuff like that. But
anybody can play
been
Superman
decades
if
and
they read
decades
him.
and decades since that was the case. Like Superman's like stories of his,
Yeah,
like
I don't think it was fair of me.
the ethics of
but
him like getting involved in foreign affairs or wars and stuff like that. He's become a global character, and
yeah,
like the Superman stuff is on a cosmic level.
he's
a lot of times.
transcended nations. Like
Yeah.
he's an international symbol.
Plus his acting, I don't think Bradley Cooper was knee deep with like.
This is
raccoons growing
nothing
up.
about his acting period.
Oh, you should have heard the raccoon community. They were up in arms when he got.
I know he
captured.
got a
Were
lot of
they?
hate for it,
Were
but
they?
I can't make
They
any
were up
jokes.
in paws.
Oh fuck it, those raccoons, bro. They're relentless. You ever seen a
Who are the
raccoon bite off
raccoons?
someone's nose?
One of my favorite Fortnite characters is a raccoon. He's a trash panda.
Biggie just goes straight into ruining the whole experience. Okay, I watched a 2-minute clip of what happened. That's
enough. It's enough emotion for Biggie.
Yeah,
He's,
but I
he's
mean,
done for until next year.
the emotion started with not to go into spoilers, but obviously he's fighting
The beginning
Doomsday.
of
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, right in that fight, like with him with Doomsday, like I was not expecting that to happen, and then just everything that happened. So that's why I think it's for the emotional beats to hit you as hard. There are some things that there's like one callback, Mark, and you know what I'm talking about when that door opens. That happens in a previous episode. I think it's like, was that season 3 with the dress?
I
Or
think
that was
so.
before? Yeah. So once I was just like, holy shit, that's I don't know.
And then I like how like the show ends the same way it begins with Clark narrating over what we're seeing. That's how the whole series begins, like with his arrival and what it was like. Him catching the car and the homage.
That was
action.
super Snyder-esque. That opening.
Yeah, but like that's how episode 1 begins, and that's how season 4 episode 10 ends. And dude, just listening to him narrating, but then like he tries to say, he's like he's like what's life all about, and they open the doors like and love. Then he trips over. You hear it in his voice. He goes, "God, she's beautiful." I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I'm dying.
That's what hit me. That's from.
He's like, I came to this world with nothing. I'm leaving with so much.
Yeah. Oh man. Shout out to Superman and Lois.
Do everything you can to find love. It all goes by so fast.
Mark made me sad. I'm out of here.
Dude, that was one hell of a finale. And then what you pointed out to me when you put his hand on old buddy's shoulder.
That's what first broke me, because it's I was just like, because after it was,
and you can see the empathy. Like he radiates empathy in that moment. He puts his hand there, and you see as soon as he does, like they're sharing facial expressions at that point. You're like, God, taking it on for him.
There's no dialogue or anything. It's just the facial expressions, the empathy. I was just like, holy shit, because this is what I loved about All-Star Superman, because it's showing who Superman is without, just the power, without the strength. Like, he's obviously super strong and blah, 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 but what makes the book is everything that makes him who he is. It's not just about his super strength. And this focused on that. And I don't know, it was just brilliant. Like, I highly recommend watching it. Highly.
Yeah, and Biggie, I know you checked that clip. Go back and you're gonna have to look at more than a clip, my dude. You'll love it, man.
Yeah, I think I think it's a difficult show to get into if you don't watch it from the beginning. So I think I learned because I was watching it. I learned to not learn, but over time, I began to like these characters. Like in the beginning, I hated Jonathan and Jordan, and it wasn't until more of their human interactions, like when Jordan and Sarah got into it, where I really like felt for Jordan. The same thing with Jonathan when he's just trying to live in Jordan's shadow and he goes out to be the firefighter. And what's the like? That's what really made me fall for the show. All the non-superhero aspects.
Not a saying instructions. Oh, I don't get it.
Yo, that's a deviate.
Well, I started thinking about my legacy. I'm like, this is, dude, I said it, dude. As soon as it was over, I'm like, 3 things happened. James Gunn announced Superman Legacy. CW handed James Gunn the script for this finale. James Gunn immediately dropped Legacy off the title of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like this show should have been called Superman Legacy, but I mean, Superman and Lois is the appropriate title for sure. But
Yeah, not to bring up drama or turn this to drama. I forgot what stream it was. Like I do not remember, but AR and somebody else was going at it in the comments.
I'm assuming it had to be Niobe.
Yes, it was.
When was this?
And AR was roasting them.
I love it.
Niobe has no clue that AR wrote his own comic, and AR's humor prevents Niobe from understanding context.
Yeah. There's a lot of things Naomi doesn't understand, but we're not going to go into that today.
AR lit this dude up.
I mean,
He's like,
it's probably too easy
I
for
I
AR.
was quietly in that chat as well. I forgot what stream it was too.
Love
After
After
Lockup.
Lockup is my jam. I gotta watch that. Yo, those 90-Day Fiancés, Love After Lockup, all those like love things. Those are the. Yeah, but AR was catching bodies in that chat.
I can imagine it was just like a snack for him.
That was the Razor Brian probably.
Yes, it was.
I popped that on for a minute and I'm like, I'm so bored. I've heard this Renovision Brian story 1,000 times over. It's just like this goes back years and there's no new information. I don't know.
I don't even know. What
Mark, do you have a notebook with all the notes for the shows you watch? Nope. I just watch stuff and riff on it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Usually I ask you. Go ahead, GB. My bad.
I was going to ask if I could talk about something that I didn't like that was not good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Moana 2. Not good.
You watched Dune?
That's all.
So which one? There's a Moana 2 and then there's a real life one.
The real life one's not out. Moana 2 just broke records and like.
You didn't like it. You didn't like it, huh?
Nope.
I never saw Moana 1.
Moana
Oh
1 like the
my
last
God,
great
it's
Disney
amazing.
film.
I saw Lilo and Stitch. It's the closest shit I
Trash.
got to Moana.
Monkey
Moana
loved Lilo and
kills that.
Stitch and Moana.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch is my jam because that Stitch animal, he's my spirit animal.
Moana's soundtrack is like insanely good.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
It is.
I remember really liking that. I saw it once, but I remember really liking Moana. Like the underwater stuff was really cool towards the end.
Yeah.
Tafiki. Yeah, Moana was fantastic. I think that was like the last great Disney animated film. They've had some financial hits and stuff like that, but when it comes to like, like they over the course of their existence, they've built like the Princess Maker. You know what I mean? That's what they do.
Yeah.
They create these lasting characters, like all these different princesses. Aladdin. We haven't really had any like lasting breakout hits. Like Hercules has a small audience, but it isn't like every kid that is born and grows up, they'll be like, oh, Disney Hercules. No, but they will do that with Aladdin, but that's kind of falling
Lion
off.
King was the
People
last
know
great
Moana.
Disney movie.
No, but Lion King's on that great list, but Moana's from the next decade. Like
Yeah, I haven't seen Moana. I need to
tried,
see
and
it.
Blue
Okay,
Hellion
first.
Comics Rock says you're welcome.
Is Moana cartoon or pixel like Pixar?
It's a cartoon, but
it's
it's so worth
Pixar.
it.
It's Pixar like cartoon. It's computer cartoon.
Yeah.
But Moana 2 was meant to be a TV series on Disney. It was filmed to be a TV series on Disney Plus. So you'll notice the difference in like the quality, the story structuring, and stuff like that. If you watch a lot of movies, if you're a kid, you won't know the difference. You'll be able to tell. But they went back and re-edited it to be a feature-length film instead of just a short series on Disney Plus because the streaming wars has almost cost these companies their firstborn.
You like Lilo and Stitch better than Lion King.
So basically, imagine all of the stuff that you love about Moana 1, and Moana 2 just tries to do its best impression of that.
That's how sequels be for stuff like that. Remember back in the day, guys, like they would come out with these banger Disney hits.
Straight
Like,
to video. Straight
that
to
was
video.
such a good hit. We made a bunch of money at the box office. What do you do now? Make direct-to-video sequels.
Yeah, like there's like Little Mermaid 2, 3, Lion King 2,
Lion
3,
King,
Holiday
Lion King Half.
Special. Yeah.
Aladdin, Return of Jafar.
Oh,
Yeah,
shout out to Jafar.
Yeah, that bastard.
The
What
best,
came
the
first,
best was
Moana or-
Robin Williams as the genie.
Will Smith did a good job in the live
And he
action.
didn't even do that role for money. He did it for a Picasso. Like he did it for pieces of art.
Yeah, I love that even more.
Yeah.
What came first, Moana 1 or Coco?
I've
Moana
never
1, I
seen
believe.
Coco.
So Coco to me is the
Coco's
last.
fire. That was Finn's first favorite movie. Every night, like when he was like 1, he would like Finn used to put himself to bed, but he wouldn't go alone. So we'd hit like the street lights would come on, and little man would be drunk on milk and just stand up, and he would walk to the hallway, take one step out of sight, turn around, come back, and hold his hand out at Kyle and say, "Mama, moan, moan," and make Kyle go to bed. And he'd get in bed and he'd say, "Coco, Coco," and that's all he watched for a year straight every
I
night.
don't know what Coco
Ay, mi
is.
amor, ay, mi amor.
It's so
What
good.
color is the sky? Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor.
Oh,
I actually have a real bone to pick with all the Disney movies that I watched growing up with Cinderella and Snow White.
If you watch The Little Mermaid, you'll see
Sleeping
that the
Beauty
priest
and The
had a
Little
bone to
Mermaid.
pick with y'all.
I got a bone to pick because it made it seem like every woman, when she was about to do housework, woodland creatures was going to come out of the woodwork and help her sweep her house.
No one ever
And
helped her.
I have yet to see one rat out here sweeping.
I like how you
Oh, look,
as soon as you
the
said that,
cat
an
is- the
animal
cat is like,
comes
"I'm
into
here."
frame. An animal walks into frame.
Get that cat a broom.
I think that rats were always doing the sewing. I think you had other
Yeah.
animals who do this.
You're right. You're right.
Shout out to the rats.
I liked Gus, the fat mouse that liked all the cheese. Gus was my favorite.
Never watched Cinderella 3. Shit is wild.
Yeah, Coco was definitely the last great like Disney Pixar movie to me. I never seen Luca. And like
Did you go down to the Cabana Club?
Yeah, it's like isn't it a Susanna Hoff song?
Susanna Hoff
Suzanne
from the
Vega.
from the Bengals.
Suzanne Vega, my bad. Yeah, she sang this song called Luca.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Evil's Comics.
Oh, DJ. All these bands from like our time, they're starting to put them on Tiny Desk because all these albums we loved are like coming up on their 20th anniversary and all this shit. Like TV on the radio, fucking Nora Jones. They had Old Crow Medicine Show. They had goddamn Magnetic Fields. Like so many good people recently. And I've just been like, ow.
Yeah, it's good. That Tiny Desk stuff is good. There's a
I
lot
love
of
Tiny
older
Desk.
acts. Like
Yeah.
they're getting money out here, man. They're doing
Yep.
tours, like
Yep.
little venues and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Um,
good. That's because the music today sucks so bad.
Most of it does. Most of it does.
You know, is
There's
it
a few
really music?
exceptions.
Is it really even music, or is it just electronic noise?
Is it just sound? I know.
Well,
Get off
it
my
doesn't come
lawn.
from an electronic, like if it's an acoustic.
I say that as a fan of electronic industrial music. So let me preface that in saying I
Mr.
understand
Rammstein.
the irony in what I am saying on my own right. So
See, but that music was done to sound intentionally like that.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
not like today's music where there's like, let me make this new hip hop album, and it's just like it's
No,
just
they were
sounds
like, we're
it's
going to make
trash.
industrial music, and it will be out of these bleep blorps.
it was original stuff as opposed to taking other things, just taking a bunch of samples and putting it together and calling themselves a musician or a DJ and calling DJs musicians. I was like, come
I
on.
don't know. The loop was an interesting creation. I liked I don't mind the loop.
Yeah, look, it's all artistic. Don't get me wrong, but
I
Some are,
think,
Taylor.
It doesn't appeal to me.
but yeah, music producers are underrated.
Some
I
of them
agree
are
100%.
crazy fucks.
There's
Those
a difference
pictures-
between music producers and beat makers. Like somebody that just makes a beat, like man, like you have to
See, I think Kanye's more of a
flip the
beat maker.
samples. Nah, Kanye West is a genius, man.
He's crazy.
When it comes to just his beats and his sampling, his loop flips, and that's
I
His
think that
early
you could
stuff,
play one
That's
of his.
what I
you-
heard Kanye.
I don't think that you could play a
Musical
single song of his that I would know was his.
I bet I
I
could.
son of
you're
a
also
gold
1,000
digger.
years old.
I ain't hanging with no broke. I know that one.
I don't know that one. That must be the clean
Summer of
version.
the
I don't
gold
know.
digger. They ain't hanging with no broke.
Did
Yeah, I
you
don't-
know it's his
Oh,
versus? Did
whenever
you
I hear
recognize?
other
You would
music
recognize
people
plenty of his
talking about Kanye, they all say like, "Oh, he's a genius. Like, he's a musical genius."
I might recognize certain.
Yeah, he's got.
Excuse me,
talent.
certain things I might recognize
I
that
know.
I've
They
heard
are
them
the-
before, but knowing who they are,
You're
no,
right. We don't want
See,
music
but-
from healthy people.
But Taylor Winder's in the streets.
Yeah, Taylor's got his ear to the ground. He's of the people. Me,
Taylor's
I'm like,
in the streets. I saw Taylor rocking his
There's
MF
one.
Doom mask
There's
once.
one of the good Kanye ones was got like a teddy bear on it, and it's like back to school or something. like that.
Graduation.
Graduation.
Well, so there's teddy bears on two of them. Late registration is
Those are two big ones of his, right?
yeah, and then in the college dropout, he's in the teddy bear outfit taking the head off, and then graduation is like a animated or like a drawing of a teddy bear. That was like his thing.
I
Those
remember
three
I
albums
was,
are all fantastic.
I was like in 9th or 10th grade when the first Eminem album dropped,
The
and it had
Eminem.
that angry pill on it or whatever.
Mhm.
And we were just like, we'd never heard anything like that. And I remember being in like a class and like the teachers just railing on that kind of music, and us just thinking it's the most amazing shit we'd ever heard in our lives.
yeah, it was the same stuff we heard back in '88. It was just, a little throwback.
Yeah.
It was
We're just
nice.
like, he really hates Kim. Who is Kim?
that bitch.
We
Oh,
all know
Kim.
Kim now.
Yeah, his Eminem's mom died like 2 days ago.
Oh, Eminem's mom did?
Yeah,
Man, that's
Yeah,
got to be a lot of psychic energy there, because
New album coming.
half his content was about that shit.
Not really about his mom too much.
no, he stopped that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he processed it. He said what he had to say.
He has a beautiful song. I forgot which album it was on.
He
where
loves his daughter.
No, when he's talking about his mom and talking about the beef,
Yeah.
and then he comes to term with it and like forgives her for everything.
He's in a better place. That's good.
Yeah.
You got to
And
let that shit go. And I mean, with all that money, you figure he could help himself by, getting some professional.
Yeah,
Well,
but my favorite always was, though, back in the day, people singing about their mom was, oh, Cool J telling how his mom told him to knock you out. And so that's what he was all about.
Mom gonna knock you
Mama
out.
said knock you out, and that's what he's
Right,
going to
and
do.
he had one.
Mama,
He had one sweatpant up to his knee.
Well, the cleanliness of
I would do that.
Eminem's rapping at the rate of speed, that's one of the things I feel like he brought. What do you think, DJ? I'm not a.
Yeah, no, I think Eminem, he pushed a lot of things to the mainstream. Like Taylor said, push hip hop into the mainstream. He did push a lot of things into the mainstream, but as far as skill and stuff, he's not like unmatched, right? So Royce the 5'9", who Eminem did an album with, is equally as talented. When you talk about speed and rapping like that, Tech 9,
I don't like
Kansas
Busta, but I think Busta is fast.
but yeah, Busta Rhymes was
yeah,
pretty
so,
good.
like Eminem,
But dude,
do
no,
it.
no,
He's
come on.
zesty.
What you miss and what I love more than anything else, it totally defines, the era, especially the era that I was in, that you don't have today, is still you don't have the groups today that you had. So the Beastie Boys, the way that they exchanged and handed off rhymes from one
NWA.
to the other was just. I mean, you watch rappers today do reaction videos all day long to these old stuff, and watch how they get blown away by people handing off rhymes midstream, the back and forth, the flow with it. You don't have that today. Everybody wants to be the star. They don't want to be part of a group. And that was a completely different element that was just amazing.
Yeah, it's all money. When you hear about like these groups and stuff, like nobody wants to be in a group because there's no like happy ending to these groups. Like everyone breaks up over money. So there's like, now why should I get into a group? But nah, I totally agree with you, dude. Like the Beastie Boys, they're one of a
And
kind.
Run DMC. I mean, those guys, that style, those duos and 3-man group styles where we were handing stuff off back and forth. That shit was just amazing.
Yeah, where you do like 4 bars and pass it, 4 bars and pass it.
EPMD, freaking, oh man.
Yeah, I remember I went to Eminem was headlining at a concert I went to, and when he came out, everybody just left. It was hilarious. Everybody just like walked out.
Well, anyways,
Beckerman, like Tech Nine is super nasty. Like he was Eminem before Eminem, and he's like insanely talented, but super underground. Like he never signed to a mainstream label. He's like, Eminem's as a performer is like,
yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I need to eat.
It's 7 a.m. It's time for me to attend my 5 p.m. Romania meeting.
I gotta go too.
All right, take care.
Look at that. It's going to be Justin Birch and Mark and Lady Fantastic.
Oh shit.
Biggie, hop on, take my place, dog. Or AR, come on.
As our man Justin Birch would say.
Yeah, the AR Fortnite.
Smoke bomb.
Yeah, you're running away to another stream.
Huh?
No, I'm fucking dying, dude. I didn't have last night. I had for dinner bread and butter, and then I'm like dying to eat my oatmeal. I'll hop back on after I eat my oatmeal. Oh, I see what you're doing. No, I'm not going on. I'm not that dude.
I'm gonna get out of here.
I'm just starving, and then I'm pissed because I'm having construction done in the house, and these motherfuckers didn't show up today.
Uh-oh.
Yo, and this nice. Oh
Is
shit!
that what does your hat say? The diddler?
I can't go anywhere. Oh shit!
Just fucking with you.
Evil doer. What up, Nick? You got a plunger on your head?
Better on my head.
Nick looks like he just hit a lick.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey,
How
what's
you doing,
happening?
sir? What's going on?
Just wanted to say good morning to my people on the community chat without any equal. Check us out in the mix tonight. It might be sort of a sequel.
Super bars, dog.
I've already had bacon and chocolate chip cookies, so it's going to be that kind of a day.
Bacon and chocolate chip cookies at 10:01.
9:01 by me.
9:01 by that's even worse, dog. I haven't. I had a light dinner last night, and then like I was supposed to eat today, but that's why I'm
Nick,
starving.
I've never seen a grown man love you the way Beckerman has loved you.
I love me some Mike Becker too.
No, I feel
Just
like
so much that I'm thinking about coming back to Planet Comic-Con.
Nah. Yeah, Heroes Con tickets went on sale.
Yep.
Lady F, you going to Heroes Con?
I'm gonna do my damnedest to go.
Boom, on sale now, June 20th through the 22nd, 2025, Charlotte Convention Center. Comics Curing Cancer. Did we ever announce this that we're gonna be like we already got a booth and everything?
Yeah, I've been talking about it on streams and everything.
We will have our booth again. Booth.
At a booth. Hey, both of you is gonna be running, or the tree is?
The three of us is gonna be running the booth. The booth. Yes, we're doing our thing again, man. Comics Curing Cancer will be there. Same spot, I believe. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be super dope, man. We got a lot of crazy things in the works.
No hotel links just yet, Mike. They wanted like $1,100 for Thursday through Sunday.
For what?
If you want to book at the Westin. They haven't dropped the convention.
Oh, the convention rates. Yeah. Nah, as soon as they do that, I'm gonna book my shit. And then I don't know, depending on the amount of stuff. Because I didn't want to drive again, man. So then we might have to drive depending on the stuff. Unless we get the stuff earlier and then I ship it to the hotel. But I don't feel like
then you just don't want to drive because that's a pretty big expense too, no?
What?
Shipping the stuff there?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because the stuff is super heavy, and then it might be a lot of boxes.
And then you get a risk the chance of it getting lost.
Yeah. And then last year with the art book, like it was like so last minute, like legit. We drove to North Carolina. We left on Wednesday morning, and I got the books on Monday, the art book on Monday. So I put them in the bags and boards Monday night, and then all Tuesday. That fucking sticker on the back, which is such a time consumer. We're not doing that this year. Sorry, Rob. We're not doing that sticker on the back.
Well, I'm the one that has. Oh yeah, you had to do it on some of the art books, right?
On all of them.
I had to do it on. I did it on 250 or whatever copies of Sonic.
Yeah, and I did it on and all the art books. I was like, I
That
ain't
was
doing this
dreadful.
Jesus, it's 23 degrees.
I don't mind using stickers, but if not die cut, they got to be the round ones. If they're the round ones, that'd actually be easier than tape.
Yeah, right. Or just don't even do the little piece of tape, man. Like,
how about this? We don't even tape them.
Then we could do it over there together. Like when we're not doing nothing.
Just when we're there, we can be doing it there. Let people throw their magnets in the back of them, or little table swag in the back of the backing board.
Taylor Winder says, if y'all want help with things, I'm happy to be a more active participant in CCC, which I'm assuming is just Cox.
Are you going to be at Heroes Con this year, T-Dub?
T-Dubs better be at Heroes Con. Biggie too, man.
Yeah, it's criminal that I haven't met Biggie in person yet. Thought NWO was for life, homie.
All right, I'm out, dudes.
Hi, Lydia.
About to make like a baby and head out.
That's right. Or make like a banana and split.
Unless
like a tree and leaf.
Unless you breach.
Oh.
Shout out to my
first,
brother.
Bitches. Don't do feet first. Get the head out. All right, I'll see y'all. Bye.
Shout out to my brother. My brother was born like that. Breach with the umbilical cord around his neck.
Motherfucker been ice skating ever since.
Yep. Yeah, man. So I'm excited about what we got in the works. JB, I'm assuming you're gonna go 100%, right?
Yeah. I think I finally decided that I'm not tabling, so I'm just gonna do what I always do.
Just float in the wind.
Yeah.
See, but that's good, man.
Consider taking advantage of your name. That way we can take advantage of any resources we have to draw people to our table. Professional creator on Something is Killing the Children will be at the booth for 7 minutes on this day. Be there. And we can actually advertise your name next to those books.
I'll be there for 7 minutes, but I won't say what day or time.
Or which minutes.
Or which minutes. Yeah, they're not even guaranteed to be together.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
shit.
30 seconds at a time.
That's crazy, dog. Shout out to being vengeful.
We need to figure out. Last year it was cool having some of the people at the booth. I wish Martin's machine would have worked. That would have been really cool to watch him do that.
Yeah, if he's gonna go, I mean, hopefully, like I know he has a new machine. So if he,
it's not guaranteed to be consecutive.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Biggie, if you commit to just jogging to Heroes Con, you probably lose it just on the way.
Yo, people, and Biggie had lost a bunch of weight, man. Biggie lost a bunch of weight.
About this time last year, he took off on that journey.
Yeah. But it's, giving up soda or pop or whatever you guys call it, like that's a big thing, man. Just straight up drinking water, like you'll see like pounds like shed off like mad quick. And that's without even doing exercise or anything. Just like cutting out soda.
Drinking water is the worst.
I mean, I like all I drink is water, but for years all I drink is water. But I drink the sparkling water. That's the Poland Spring sparkling water? What is that, nigga?
Propel.
The fuck is that?
It's flavored water. flavored what was it, like energy water, not energy, but
No,
workout water.
some of them have energy, but this is just
It's
like
got them electrolytes.
Yeah, so I drink something similar to that, but it's not. It doesn't have electrolyte. Is there? Wait a minute. You got to lose 50 pounds before covered. Oh shit.
Well, I 1000% agree, Vicky. I haven't done soda in years. Like I mean, like even when I was younger, I think it's because I was so active. Like we would be out doing stuff, and then have to come home to eat dinner or meet mom somewhere to eat dinner and stuff. And I would want water because I was legitimately thirsty. Like whenever you're legitimately thirsty, the only thing that's going to help is water. Like everything else to me just sort of just coats my throat, you know, like all the syrup and stuff. It makes me more thirsty. But I love water. Is that the John Boy double cover?
John Boy double cover.
Those used to sell for a lot of money. I don't know what they do now.
Nah, yo, Taylor, chill. Taylor, chill. Taylor wants to drive away all our volunteers.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy, bro.
Chill.
Biggie jogs the Heroes Legion should volunteer to ride a bike behind him like Mickey did for Rocky. That's fair.
Or coach for Little Mac.
Oh, yeah. Punch out.
Yo.
No, but I mean, if you jog to Heroes, I mean, the last thing you're going to want to do is walk around convention.
Your legs be numb as shit.
That's the other thing I can't do. I hate jogging. Like hitting the treadmill is like, I call it the dreadmill. It's not bad.
I don't jog. I walk on the treadmill.
Walk.
Yeah, so I'll do like a 3.5, but I'll watch TV like while I'm doing it. So then I'll go I'll go sometimes it's funny because on the little one we have, it maxes out at 90 minutes.
They say
just turn it right back on.
Yeah. But it'll stop your thing at 90 minutes. It'll be like it'll stop and then be like, yo, here's your stats. But then I'll just have to shut it off and then put it back on.
They say it's really good to do 3.5 at a non-incline for 4 minutes and hit a 12 and back to 9, like fluctuate your incline, decline stuff.
Yeah, so I don't have that on this one. I just have a bullshit one that's underneath the freaking sofa right now.
So I'm hearing a lot of underneath. I'm hearing a lot of boof. I'm hearing a lot of
Yo,
both.
I'm
It's
mad.
New
I'm
York
mad.
today.
Yo, super New York dog. This is me when I haven't had my oatmeal. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Has any CEOs been assassinated in your cities?
That's crazy.
Not this week. That was wild, dude. DJ's trying to fire up a conspiracy conversation. I see.
Oh no, I'm not firing up any conspiracy theories. I just feel
You can't say words like assassinate around me and not expect to fire up a conspiracy conversation.
Yo, for me, it's insane because that's like seeing some John Wick shit in real time, and the public's reaction to that is not like, oh,
clown
poor
the guy.
CEO. Yeah,
Clown
it's just like, oh shit, dude wrote on the bullets and like.
I've seen more little reels of Joe Pesci from Goodfellas walking into this, like making fun of the situation. It blows my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy. But your boy, so he clapped this dude. Yo, on 54th and 6th Avenue, which is in front of the Hilton. Even at 6:30 in the morning, there's mad people there because there's a bunch of food trucks right outside.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's
it's
people
mad.
sitting in the car right next to it in the SUV.
Yo, what was wild how he had the silencer and he had sound suppressing bullets. And on every time you shoot, you have to rack the gun. So he was just like, punk.
No,
punk.
the gun was jammed on him. He was just clearing it.
Nah.
Did they say what caliber it was?
Deadly. I don't know.
That'll happen like if you're using like a 22. The 22 ammo is so crappy sometimes it'll do a lot of jamming.
So what I read was just like because of the type of the bullets was, so you have to rack the gun for every shot. So that's what I read. And then on the bullet casings, they found the 3 bullet casings, and it said deny, dispose, and something else. It was 3 different words on the
Depose, I think. Depose.
depose, yeah.
Mhm.
Which whatever.
Deny, defend, depose.
Demure.
Wow. Yo, then your boy just walked off and hopped on the city bike. It was like doo-doo-doo.
Zing.
Yeah. It was like Mr. Wick.
Where is Hoarder's Hide to explain all this stuff to everybody?
You look good, Francis.
Thank you.
Keeping off the weight.
Speaking of Canadian survivalists, I saw Amazon. I've been looking for that secret level to drop. For some reason, I thought it would have dropped this week, but it's next week. They dropped a show called Sticky, which is about, I think
I don't want to know.
Pass.
Based on a true story about a molasses maple syrup heist in Canada.
Sticky in Canada, pass.
But
it was a cheap suppressor, so with subsonic ammo, it will cause the gun to not cycle. There you go.
Boom.
But it's just crazy how the public is just like, yo, this assassin is the shit.
Sludge will most certainly know for sure.
Yeah. I can't wait to the comedic retelling of this story.
No, there have been a couple of shootings, but no CEO around me.
No, so then it came out yesterday that CEO was being investigated for some or other.
Bunch of things. He has a bunch of litigation coming up. Also, his company has like a 32% denial claims rate, where the national average is 16%. So they're like, they got a lot of enemies, but he also has a lot of legal issues that he was going to be facing, is including and not limited to insider trading crimes he's been brought up on.
So you think the company is behind it? Keep them quiet. Who you think is behind this, Legion? Come on, I see that smile. I see that smirk, dog. I see that smirk.
Yeah, we also
when you just because like when things boil down to things, money over everything, right? And like
money over hose.
So like when you hear insider trading,
Taylor,
like that's not a one person crime. You know what I mean? Insider trading means like one person is giving information to another person.
But maybe he was going to talk.
And vice versa. So it would stand to reason if he's the one in trouble, the other person involved in that would be the one that would stand to lose a lot from it.
I don't know. I think he was going to flip.
So when you hear insider trading, like just on a blanket level, who comes to mind? What people, groups, places, things? What comes to mind about insider trading these days?
These bigwig executives and top level people.
Top level people for sure.
The elite.
I just want to say that the views of the panel do not necessarily express the same views as the panelists.
Oh shit! You think that we're gonna
yeah
we're gonna come in contact with an accident? In the Mix might be canceled by tonight. Oh shit, yo! We should go on in the mix with like body cast.
I didn't say anything. I'm just asking y'all questions.
No, Mark's trying to get us killed.
Oh snap! Yo, speaking of this, we're going down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole. I was gonna say rat hole, but that's.
I told you were taking us there.
I wasn't, but now I'm jazzed up. I'm sans oatmeal. I'm jazzed up. All the alien. What do we call it? The hearing that happened like 2 weeks ago and stuff.
Congressional hearing on the UAFs. UAPs. I'm still stuck on the F.
What the hell is the F?
Must have been a good night.
Flying. It's the flying part.
Oh, there we go. They took that out. It's like, oh, because they could.
What's the P stand for?
Phenomenon. Yo, so they basically. So the funniest thing about that, what was the secret government thing called? Eminent Constellation or Immaculate Constellation?
Immaculate
Constellation. So one of the senators or whatever that was asking the questions, they say, hey, is there a secret program or something? I'm paraphrasing, secret program. And then the dude goes, Immaculate Constellation doesn't exist. Like, I never said Immaculate Constellation, bro. Like, what are you talking about? I just asked about a secret program. He was like, who?
the amount of things that they did 100% say yes, confirm to, were fascinating, including when they were asked, can you confirm that we have recovered crashed UAF sites? He's like, yes.
UAPs.
Yeah. Can you confirm that we have, because like they have a record of military personnel that are on paid medical from working these crash sites. So they confirmed that. And then they asked them about like where these occurred. And they're like, I can't tell you in open session, but I'll be happy to tell you once we close session. Like we are confirming that we have recovered and retro engineered crash sites. They confirmed that 100%.
Yo, I know. See, Beckerman, remember when I was leaving to eat oatmeal? And then now y'all got me down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole, man.
Well, this is conspiracy. This is just recounting what was said in our nation's capital.
So, and it's funny how they why does it seem like DJ brings up all the conspiracy theories? I have a feeling that he has connected to the Department of Truth. I don't know, but they didn't say anything about timelines and stuff, right? So it's just like, is it recent? Is it whatever? Is it stuff that they're whatever from Roswell? Bob Lazar stuff is like all this stuff still from just the Roswell incident. It's just crazy.
All that Bob Lazar stuff was funny how that slowly got confirmed over the years. He was called a liar, a hack, a kook, and they've went and actually recovered the records that were erased, and they found the co-workers that they said didn't exist, and they found that the hand scanning technology that they said was science fiction, and they've
confirmed element 119.
They confirmed the element decades later that finally came out. Like, yo, everything this dude has said has been 100% proven true.
Yeah, I'm starting to think every conspiracy theory has some truth.
It's not a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
They're called early truths. It's almost 2025. They're just early truths.
Yeah, because now we're talking about like Hitman on the loose, just chilling. Yo,
Agent 47 was just on the news.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about?
Whoa, shit, man. Yeah, I'm starting to think like, I don't know what happened with this world, bro. We're like, this shit is a movie. This shit is crazy.
Means we'll have zombies soon.
You know what's fun though is being the guy that as all this is blowing people's minds. I'm just like, told y'all.
You think they'll do like a Project Bluebeam type alien invasion shit?
I hope not. That'd be scary. We already have AI like confusing. Like, are those real boobs or are those AI boobs? Like, I don't need that happening in the sky.
Yo, bro, the algorithm is so confusing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, what? Oh, wait, what? Look at those eyes. They're like, why she got 3 pupils?
I was about to say, I made fun of these hentai fans for so long. I don't want to get caught on some AI stuff.
With the eyes crossed and the tongue out.
I'm with you for doing sky boobs. Like we go back Dogma style when God's Alanis Morissette or something. Just put her up in the sky.
Wow. Yeah, that'll like because just tomorrow's facts exactly.
Yeah, look, just to read the room here, just to gauge the chat. How many people still think Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone and is even the shooter? Like, all right, who believes?
Justin is just like, wait, what?
Yeah, who even believes the Warren report? Because that's like that was the birth of the term conspiracy theory. God dang, that was the birth of that term, which was literally a CIA op to try to throw off the narrative of the American people. The creation of that term and the implementation of it onto the American people was to do exactly what it's doing now and making people discredit what people are saying by using that term. Like your people today that throw, oh, you're just being a conspiracy theorist. You are literally being gaslit by the government. You are doing exactly what they intended it for it to do. Just tomorrow's facts. Spearmint theory, yeah. Don't take deep breaths.
Yeah, spearmint theory. That sounds like a dope ass gum.
Yeah.
Spearmint theory.
Chewing it, you breathe in too quick. Ooh, that's cold on my throat.
Yeah. Spearmint theory. At a bodega near you.
Chemtrails, that's another one that's a 1,000% proven fact. There's government legislation on the ability to use them when you can and can't, and the chemicals allowed to be used in them. But it's funny how people write it off thinking people are crazy for using the term chemtrail, because again, online ops and narratives that push things. But you can easily look it up. It goes back to the 1950s when they wrote legislation on it. It's been used ever since in America and elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Does it fascinate you that in the last going on 5 years, so since 2020, the amount of shit that we've seen in those 5 years is more than like the previous 20?
Yeah.
Like just in those 5 years.
Let Mike just throw out buzzwords.
Flat Earth, lizard people, cryptoids. I love it. I love it. Earth is never. It's funny because I remember when I first heard about the flat Earth thing, and I was just like, "Yo, this is some stupid ass shit. Let me watch this 2-hour documentary."
Did you watch the one on Netflix, Beyond the Curve?
No, I don't think I've ever watched that one. It was the first one. Was it Zeitgeist? Was like the big one?
Zeitgeist was game changer, bro. Like that guy was ahead of his curve with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, which it was like the beginning was all of that stuff, and then it talk about whatever. But I was just like, "Yo, this shit ain't true." Then after a while, I'm just like, I don't know anymore. Like, oh shit!
And
But
then you wait another decade. Like, okay, now most of this has been confirmed. Man.
No, but it was funny. Like at that one, when the guy in the space, when he was talking about, yeah, we've never been to space, we never left the outer atmosphere. It's impossible because of the Van Allen radiation belt and all that shit. I was just like, yo, what? And then the fucking seeing them fixing the cameras to get the shot of the moon in the studio and all that or whatever, or from the spaceship. Yeah, that shit was crazy. I love conspiracy theories. Justin Birch, what is your favorite conspiracy theory?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Ah, shit.
I still ain't seen no one answer the Lee Harvey Oswald question in the chat.
That dude did not act alone, 100%.
Like, it's funny while JB's thinking, listen to other people in other countries take on the JFK thing. They laugh at Americans who think that the government didn't do it. Like, yeah, that we live because they live in a society where we're doing overthrows in their countries and stuff, and they look at that like, yo, are y'all that stupid to think that wasn't your government?
Yeah, it was your boy. It was your boy. It was your boys.
Hey everyone, Alex Jones here. You got to try my new gum. Yeah, I loved all the Thanksgiving.
All those demons and pedophiles.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving reels that were going around. Be normal at Thanksgiving. Me at Thanksgiving. The globalists. Woo!
Yeah, the globalists. Yeah, the fucking globalists.
I love you guys, but all evil leads to Nightmerica. I don't disagree. Never believed it.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm about to make like a baby and head out as well.
Yeah, I'll see you guys tonight in the mix tonight at 9 p.m. Nick, I love you. Justin Birch, you're okay. Mark, I love you.
It's true. I am okay.
Nah, hope everyone has a good day. Remember, Lee Harvey was a patsy. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.